have a lot to prove. Both these teams actually have a lot to prove. I think a lot of this test is going to be mental more than anything. You guys mentioned FUT playing in their first best of 5, the mental tenacity to stay in it if it does go deep. But for Astralis, we hear those listen-ins with HooXi, right? How many times he's got to get them refocused and kind of building towards the goal. So, I mean, if they get knocked off that could be an issue. There's cracks there.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting into it. I like what Dust was talking about the mids change-up in terms of the players who've been playing in mid. Jugs and Demon, I think, is such an important part of this map. And it makes a lot of sense you put two of the heaviest hitters to try and deal with that mid-aggression that Astralis are going to throw at them today.
I also like the idea, I mean, going away from maybe your kind of standard roles just because you feel like you need the improvement, you need a change up somewhere. So seeing if a player can adapt to a new position, maybe a new philosophy in the way they play things. Set piece towards the B bomb site. It looks like at the moment there's some decoys out, maybe trying to bait out some utility. None comes yet. Now the nade will come down deep.
Well, Launcher's jump spotting. We see Krabeni stepping out of the cave, going down to the B lane.
Ooh, missed the nade. Not a great start.
Not a great start, but Astralis going to be happy about getting into the site. Smokes are up, looking for the plant. They're going to chase down Krabeni inside of cave, and it's a 1-for-1. Yabi able to respond, and that bomb plant's coming in now for Astralis.
Oh, these dualies commit to that fight, not able to land the shot. Yabi has no HP, finally goes down. Smokes have cleared as well, so the retake begins.
Yeah, now HooXi just waits on default. We got FOZE just bottom of the ramp. His teammate gone inside of the site. More pressure on the ramp holders, and they're just getting destroyed. Stair doing what he can, but it's not enough. And FUT gonna bring the energy after winning the pistol round. Deciding to play retake on that side, and it works out exactly as they would have liked.
I think a missed detail from Astralis there. They spot the dualies peeking out cave, who gets the information on them starting to cross up to B ramp. I think Astralis needed to have a little bit more focus on clearing out cave. Once those smokes fade, as we all know, if you haven't taken control of cave as the T side, there's nowhere in that bomb site to be safe. And the retake begins, you got 2 players stuck on ramp. They can't pair up in any kind of a fight. So really well done from FUT, playing it passive and just kind of winning in the post plan.
You know, Richard was asking questions.
They did put some emphasis on it. I guess Symmetry just, I mean, Yabi's left alone at the end of the fact.
You know, Richard was asking about, you know, on Ancient, do we think FUT has a chance? And you can see why, you know, you asked that question, because the last 2 times they've played hasn't exactly been competitive. Astralis have won a 13-4, 13-6 on Ancient, but I think I've seen enough in this tournament to not feel as confident in Astralis' Ancient. I think the Eyeballers game in particular had some significant weaknesses. You know, HooXi was asking, guys, are you trolling me?
Yeah, I mean, certainly we've seen those out of the Astralis side, definitely. I mean, he's referenced a number of times, specifically that Eyeballer series they played, dropping the first map in that series, having to come back into, is really disappointed in how they played in that one. So, yeah, we've seen the up and down nature, and you add into it as well, since these teams have played each other so many times, 12 maps so far in 2026, 5 series, there is that kind of like game within the game that you know there's going to be some adjustments. You're used to how these teams like to play. Oh. And look at the way FUT's getting pulled. They have no information towards... Oh, they've missed everything.
They missed absolutely every time in there. Even Demon has a look back into the site, but they had already got past his crosshead.
Well, they haven't planted yet. Good kill from HooXi, necessary, but now FUT realize what's going on. They say, oh, okay, well, we definitely know it's a fake now, and without planting that bomb, you're not going to get another chance. So Astralis missed the window of opportunity. Now they've got to fight themselves back into the round.
Yeah, Stair just waiting on this big box. Demon already moving out. Some damage being done, and Astralis, it looks like a missed opportunity. They get themselves into this site. They had got the defenders to leave the bomb site. Everything was going their way on the lead up, but yeah, just not being able to get that bomb planted. FUT able to rotate back in time, and Astralis get nothing out of the round.
Yeah, nothing at all out of the round. Unfortunate. It felt like it was there. Felt like the chance was there. And we saw yesterday in the semifinal, FUT going blow to blow with the Mongols. So many low buys won and lost from both teams. Like Deagle's coming out, we're super efficient. Tech9 super efficient. FUT was just dropping rounds, unable to beat the Mongols' low buys. So that's going to be something we'll keep track of throughout the day and see if that improves.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned how many times these teams have played in 2026. A lot, right? 12 maps played so far. Only 3 of them, though, have been all that competitive. Everything else has been a blowout. Only 3 of the maps out of the 12 have gone beyond 23 rounds of play. So, for me, I'm expecting a quick best of 5 here, and that's why I'm happy that Overpass is the final map, because I feel like I might just speed run to the final map, and then it can just be an overtime banger over there.
Sure, bet you're also pleased that Inferno isn't in the pool as well.
Everyone's happy about that, Jason.
Everyone's celebrating that one.
Everyone's very happy about that.
Inferno haters having a great time.
Yeah, feasting.
Well, Ryu, FUZE, and Stair are going to start stepping up. That smoke will delay things even further. Big match for both of these squads, obviously, not just for the grand finals, but the bigger implications for the organizations, right? Astralis They haven't won a Tier 1 trophy in 7 years. 2019, the Blast Global Finals, that was the old legendary roster as well. So for an organization that's been trying to kind of step out of that shadow, a trophy would go a long way to being that first step. And you add into it the new ownership that came in last year, the shift that into an international roster rather than sticking with the Danes as well. There's a lot of reasons that success here today for Astralis, it would just be a huge celebration for everyone who's a part of that organization.
Yeah, Astralis obviously the reason the Danish unemployment numbers were looking better because they just hired everyone for this team, apparently. You're Danish, you play for Astralis.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that didn't work out. They decided to go and hire a Swede, and they're back in the grand final. So, yeah, I don't know. That'd be a small victory there, I suppose. You bring a Swede in, you get into the winning position.
It's cool though, like listening to the guys, the players like talk about things. You know, like they don't. I know Hooksy gave an interview where he's just like, we're not really setting expectations. My expectations and my hopes are just that we're improving each and every game and each and every series. And we haven't gotten that impression necessarily throughout this event, but obviously, you know, improving in terms of the final result you're going to have at the event.
Improving their VRS ranking as well, number 3 in the world. We heard Hooksy say though, you know, it's nice to be there, but I think we're going to get knocked off that perch very quickly once Rio comes around. But it tells you all you need to know about this Astralis, that they've climbed up to that 3rd spot for now. They finally got a buy here, though, for Astralis coming into this.
Remaining very, very passive as well to open things up. Sense this aggression over in B lane with the smoke. Lonx is ready for a fight. All of his teammates have backed off, so he's very much on his own. You've got Symmetry looking over in middle, off angle towards elbow. This is all, again, a fake towards the A bomb site, and here comes the attention towards Lonx.
Well, FOKUS just walking right through is going to catch Lonx towards the bottom of the ramp, clears him out. Now the B bomb site is completely open, so the utility rains on in, and so do the Astralis players.
And you got to ask yourself right now, if your FUT, is it worth challenging? When this smoke comes down, I don't think so. I think you just kind of save. You're not gonna want to wait that one out and risk all these weapons. So I mean, you almost got to feel like this round you're just beat.
Yeah, accept the defeat early on this round, but we'll see if Astralis can start turning this into consistent success. I mean, the fact that they've managed to get a round win here without losing a player will start stabilizing that money.
I'll tell you what, though, early on, they've kind of pulled the defense away twice now with these like little A fakes. We've seen how jumpy they are in the rotation, and this is where you have to wonder if is it that kind of game within a game where they've played this Ancient so many times where they feel like they're reading exactly what Astralis was doing. And old Hooksy was up late last night saying, let's build some new things off of these. Let's really throw these guys for a loop. So tactically in this series, I think Hooksy has a chance to have a real edge over FUT, over Krebeni's calling, but I think FUT's going to be punching harder.
Yeah, when you come back and you have that conversation that you brought up earlier, just with the sheer fact that there's a game within a game when you've played so many times in one season, you would think that the more experienced IGL is going to have the advantage there, right?
Oh yeah, and especially when you look at Hooksy too. We talk about, you know, more experience than Krebeni. He's got, you know, there's 3 big trophies: Blast World Finals. He's got Cologne. He's got Katowice as well. Some of the most storied ones, winning 3 trophies when he was leading the G2 lineup for 2.5 years. But still, regardless of any success he finds, it feels like he's always got questions he needs to answer.
Oh, well, we were talking about this mid-fight. Dust was highlighting the changes FUT have put in, and having Demon and Jugs play towards middle. Well, they're gonna have to deal with Stare in this map. He is comfortably taking mid-control. He's taking damage, though, but FUT actually just back away. They don't want to get involved in any fights early.
Yeah, well, Astralis was able to split and break into the A-bomb site quite a bit about when they played in the 3rd, 4th place decider at ESL Pro League. Looks like, again, they're going to try and execute something similarly. Juke's playing over towards Donut. He'll try and block this off, drop a smoke. Is that going to delay things, make it disjointed? Looked like they wanted to force the issue, but going to hold back for now. 1 minute on the clock, or just over a minute. And while this delay is happening, good timing for Krebeni to make this information move. Clearing things out, shrinking the map. So it's going to put notice, or Symmetry on notice to watch towards the red room for any kind of a flank, any kind of a lurk.
Oh, okay, Krebeni. Now, every game we go into, we talk about how Krebeni is such an important playmaker, a fragger for this team. Not only the in-game leader, but can be a star. And here he is making the kind of plays in a grand final that we love to see from FUT. We've got Lonx making his way up B lane, but they know the A play is coming. You're going to hear those steps. The marching players in towards Jugs. It's a 1-for-1, so Demon peeks out, and getting that kill on Ryu allows him to hold down his position at the big box, and that's the bomb gone. Lonx on the flank, and Yabby now 1v4 total. He looks towards CT, but Symmetry will drop him, And FUT loving how that round transpired.
Look, we always call this FUT team an aggressive squad, but there's some method behind the madness, and this is a really well-orchestrated round. You feel that pressure, you spot them out in middle, delay smoke towards Donut. During that timing, your B defenders start pushing up, start gathering information, start getting aggressive. The follow-up smoke delays towards A main, so you've kind of disjointed both sides of that attack and bought your teammates 20 to 30 seconds to be able to shift and get in these positions at very fast flanks. Well orchestrated from FUT, a step ahead of Astralis in that round.
Jugs running down the B lane. It's going to be a quick kill here on Ryu. FOZE to respond. And a 4v4 immediately off the back of that. But mid control in favor of FUT. They're going to start falling back and readjusting their defenses, leaving the A bomb site open and putting extra players towards B.
Yeah, I think that's the confidence of just shutting Astralis down so emphatically in the previous round. They're like, you guys aren't going to test this, at least not yet. Maybe you come back to it later, but we'll call your bluff. You're not stepping towards A in this one. Smoke towards CT spawn makes them a little bit nervous that they're incorrect, though. Demon has shifted back over to Temple, just to be honest about it. And a double cave setup. So FUT playing it safe, saying you can have the bomb site, you can have the plant if you come in towards B, but we want to maintain this position for afterwards.
Symmetry. Blind. Doesn't matter. Takes the shot. Gets back into the cave. Another kill here for FUT. And a lot of damage done as well to FOZE and the Abbey. They're going to try and plant that bomb at least, but for Astralis, you still have to try and win out a 3v4 here with Krabeni coming down B lane. You've taken out HooXi, and you've left these two players inside of the site feeling absolutely swarmed. So many CTs coming at them from so many different angles, and FUT have come into this grand final swinging, and we are seeing that Astralis that we've seen earlier in the competition, where they start slow, they don't get into it at all, and FUT are not slowing down.
Yeah, you might want to hit that timeout button if you're Astralis at this point. Exactly. I think it's much, much necessary. This is what I just mentioned earlier coming into this game, is that mental test of Astralis, where we've seen some of those cracks, where we know they've had some rough games. They know there's been some frustration spreading throughout the team. So a timeout here to calm things down as you're staring at a 1-5 deficit. But FUT's playing so damn well. Now, when Astralis has beaten this team on Ancient, one of the things they've done very well is being able to find some opening kills and then hit the pause button, because you know there's going to be a reaction. You know this team likes to be proactive. They like to find information. They've said it in interviews. We don't like to play when we're not moving around the map. We don't like to play when we don't have intel. So Astralis, they've been able to find some picks in the past by getting an AWPer aggressive towards cave, by getting riflers aggressive towards cave, targeting Krabeni in that position, and then they've been able to do further punishment based off the movements afterwards. But so far in this game, initial contact is going the way of FUT. They haven't had that benefit yet, Astralis.
And the problem for Astralis is they can't fall back on another good buy here. They're going to be down with a Galil for HooXi, Deagles, and a Tech 9 for Ryu. And FUT realize what they're going to be up against here. So you've got Demon pushed up in towards A main. That's the most aggressive position being taken in this round. They'll give mid control over if Astralis want it. And they'll stack 3 players a little closer to that B bomb site. But even in a round like this, you see Krabeni is just always checking for information, looking to block out Jag, spots HooXi on the peak, willing to fight him as well. And they block that B ramp.
Willing to fight him when that smoke pops, and he knows it's going to be awkward for HooXi. Meanwhile, at the B ramp, that nade half breaks the smoke open.
Yeah, there's no getting through this.
No, not at all. It should be able to clean him up with relative ease. Nothing Astralis can do for the moment, so again, another round they might just get beat. Krabeni's trying to just track footsteps for information. Good kill as the smoke fades.
At least one kill back here from HooXi. Demon now moves out of A main, realizing no one's coming here. I might as well get a move on and see if I can cut off the rotation option and funnel them into the final play at B. So Demon peeks out from elbow, HooXi goes down, and now if you're Astralis, you realize you have to go to the B bomb site, and FUT are just waiting for you.
Yeah, this is the problem. I mean, it's a round with just Eagles as well, so it's just something to watch out for the gun rounds. If you can't win that initial engagement, you get stalled out in a 4v5. FUT is going to be pushing those flanks, pushing those extremities from the defensive positions. Clean round. Only one player falls. FUT is so rich right now. They've got so much money built up. 6-1. And Astralis has come into this grand final cold. Absolute nightmare scenario.
Well, we're checking for a pulse at this point. Well, Bai coming back at least. FOZE going to have the AWP. Everybody else on the AK-47s.
You know, Hooksy in some of his interviews was, you know, talking about some of the games they played earlier. They can't be proud of some games that they've played. You know, they've thrown away a bunch of situations, he said, and he kind of blamed it, and he said, you know, I think there's a few nerves out there. He's like, there's a couple players struggling with nerves. He's like, I don't really notice it, but not all these players have been on the same ride that I've been on at the big events that I've been at. So he very clearly realizes his players kind of struggling sometimes with the pressure. So big job today for Hooksy, keeping them motivated, keeping them focused, and keeping them headed in the right direction.
Well, Krabeni certainly not lacking confidence. Gonna push himself up, all right behind Hooksy. He's taking him away. It's gonna be so frustrating to lose your life in that fashion. Symmetry then getting the follow-up, not putting himself in a position where he can get traded. And look at Krabeni. He's not stopping. He's walking all the way through the T-spawn.
No fear whatsoever.
Oh, he's got the read, though.
Oh, well, he has the read. Is he going to be scoped in and read? Yes, he is. Okay, nice timing, FOZE, to check for that. Now, you do have Yabby as well with an advanced position up in cave. Launk's watching for it, but because of this, he's pulled FOZE and Ryu back. Ryu yet to find a kill so far in this map. Would be a great round to find it if you can help recover a 4 versus 5, or 3 versus 4, I should say. Stalled out by the smoke, and that's kind of a signal in and of itself, especially once again, you have Demon closing the gap, just pushed A main. You've got Jugs pushing Donut, clearing out middle. So FUT know everything that's happening right now.
Symmetry blocking the smoke, leaves a gap, and allows him to continue to fight towards cave. Yabby, the next victim. Ryu also toppling, another flank has arrived. FOZE realizes he's the meat in the sandwich, and he will be eaten by Demon. So it will be 7-1 for FUT. And, you know, I feel like FUT have done a great job at not allowing any mid success as well from Astralis, which is usually their T-side engine. You know, you see Stair and Ryu getting out there, depending on who has the spawn. How many times did we see that was the way that they stayed alive against eyeballers when they weren't having a good time? They could find a round in mid. FUT haven't even made a mistake in mid yet.
Yeah, I think also Astralis is now, I mean, I think you're going to start getting frustrated. Like Hooksy getting killed by Krabeni pushing the smokes like that, that's one of those things that's just like, it's almost like mental warfare on top of the actual in-game Counter-Strike. It's going to be very frustrating when that keeps happening, because you know Hooksy's probably looking at the mini-map, trying to organize the team, trying to figure out what's going on and where to go, and all of a sudden gets killed by a player coming through a smoke for no good reason.
Yeah. And they block out Demon here with his smoke grenade. He's going to blast that open just for information. Doesn't see anybody crossing or continuing their pressure.
Remember how good the fakes were working earlier for Astralis?
Yeah.
Now that they have had no success anywhere, those fakes aren't going to work anymore.
Everyone's just planting themselves. There's the shadow. Symmetry, bro. You just seen the shadow and you pull utility. Well, Demon luckily getting 2. Symmetry goes back to the angle, but both of those A players go down. Yabby gets his Tech 9 out. Now an AK-47. A bit of a micro mistake over towards A is looking like it's going to cost them this round. So FUT now rely upon Krabeni to win this 1v2. He's going to go up and fight Yabby, but he will not be able to win that. And that round comes out of nowhere. And I'm so confused as to why Symmetry pulls utility. You can see the shadow against the wall.
Yeah, the utility pull, the knife out from Lonks on the rotation. Yeah, plenty of mistakes, and those are kind of the mental mistakes we saw to the inexperienced squad yesterday against MongolZ as well. We've seen it a lot throughout this event as well. A lot of players with nades in hands in weird moments get caught here. Got to be frustrating for the FUT guys, but, you know, still, we up by 5. No reason to let it slip away. But if you're Astralis, you're looking down the line as Hooksy, and you're saying, this is our opportunity. This is our chance. String them together. Let's start chipping away at that money. Let's close the gap as the half comes to a close.
Finally, a mid-fight going down. Stair trying to come out. He's got the opening. Oh, a second as well from Stair. And finally, he's had his moment in mid. A beautiful triple kill, and that is what Stair can do when he gets those fights. Symmetry steps up, FOZE knocks him over, and Astralis are making the most of their opportunity.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Stair, that's a lovely play. He's earned his spot on this team. He's had to work so hard for it over the years. He's outlasted so many players throughout this Astralis organization trying to put a team together to contend for trophies. He's had to change roles, and he still just keeps delivering no matter what situation he's put in for Astralis.
That is beautiful work. You've got 3 players you've got to deal with. Here he is coming out. Good flash assist from Hooksy. Realizes he's likely pushed up there to the elbow. And Stair, once he gets to those boxes, he can be a real threat.
And back-to-back rounds, you got the two players from Astralis you'd point at to say, we need you guys to deliver good performances if we're going to win this grand final. Yabi for the first round win, and then Stair in this previous one as well. Those guys are critical to Astralis' success.
Okay, there's the mid fight starting to go Astralis' way. For a long time, FUT were controlling middle, not giving them the fights they were looking for. It felt like they were making the right decision in mid every single time, and now they start throwing themselves into fights, and Astralis are winning them and grinding their way back into this first half.
Nice tag. Symmetry's hoping he can press forward with the USP to clean it up, but no look. Krabeni needs to win this fight. Oh, what a snap. Stair is on fire. One player left to defend, and it's Lonks.
Yeah, just coming out of the donut. Ryu walks into the open. The big spray down, the commitment. Nearly gets away with a third there, but Symmetry rotating in. Stair was always going to get that kill. And a huge sigh of relief, I'm sure, for Astralis as they finally start to do something on this T side.
Yeah, I'm going to give a lot of credit over to HooXi. We have those individual performances that we've mentioned with Stair and Yabi and FOZE with this opening kill here, but HooXi, the change of pace now. Instead of spreading out in the default, taking control, going map control, going step by step, it's been faster paced out middle, aggression from Stair, faster paced off of kills that you're getting, escalate things, and make FUT make the decision.
I mean, this all starts because FUT have a round where Symmetry decides to pull utility instead of taking the op shot. Puts himself in an awkward spot. Both A players get traded, and then Lonks rotates with knife out. And from that point onwards, it's been Astralis winning every round. Got Demon pushed up in towards A main.
Yeah, well, it's good to see, too. We said there might be some fast maps, some dominant maps from both of these teams. This one was looking like Astralis wasn't even going to wake up enough to play the map. Good to see them recover here to make this a challenging CT side. Missed shot from Symmetry. Can't get away, comes back for more.
Yeah, unfortunate miss, but at least he's able to get away. He now knows the pressure's on, though, but you can't miss again. Finally getting one on the third time of asking. Demon's pushed up in A main. He's got a kill. Okay, Symmetry opens up the graveyard, throws them in, and they're all dead, littering the A bomb site. FUT with a response right at the end, not allowing Astralis the remainder of the rounds available. One extra on top.
Yeah, a little bit of a redemption there for Symmetry at the end after you're just referencing the mistake he made to get Astralis started with that 3-round streak. That is a great sequence. Couple missed shots early, but recovers the scenario very, very well. And Astralis can't break into the A bomb site. They do, I mean, carve out 4 rounds in that first half, where at one point this was 7-1. That could have been a disaster. So really nice recovery from Astralis just as they're about to switch sides. FUT's offense is going to be tested. We'll see what they're going to be able to do. Both teams have played Ancient 3 times here at PGL Bucharest throughout the event. Both teams 3-0 on Ancient as well. Just mentioned Astralis, I think 7-0 in their last 7 games, and then I think it's 7-3 for FUT on the map overall. Both teams beating Bait, Inner Circle, NRG for FUT, and then MongolZ and Eyeballers as well for Astralis in the series that they played.
Up, pick together. Nice, Nikita!
Get yourself a friend like Lonks. Get yourself a friend who's going to hype you up for everything you do. Now, that one deserves some hype as well.
And then get yourself a hearing aid. That's that is real loud. Here comes Jukes out towards middle. It's going to be a couple of kills. Make it 3 from FUT. Just the round feels done. Like you've just cut them open. Unless HooXi can get a couple of kills here, then it's absolutely over. Ryu comes over the top. Krabeni's ready for that next fight. FUT win the pistol in dominating fashion, and they can get right back to where they left off in that first half if they can start to get this ball rolling again.
Yeah, both pistol rounds now over to the FUT side of things, and I mean, let's see if the philosophy holds up. Very simple pistol round, right? Just kind of 4 players coming out mid and just taking every single fight they got, not giving HooXi any time to survive, closing the gap on him as well. He's trying to buy time for his teammate on the flank, and that's not going to happen. Timeout called by Astralis going into round number 2. Their second timeout that they'll use to talk things over. And yeah, I got to ask the question, is it going to be for some kind of a setup? Normally you have this conversation during halftime. Here's the pistol round we're running. If we win, we do this. If we lose, we do this. You might even have the first gun round prepared. So I'm wondering if it's maybe something to go over, change things up, or if there's maybe just like it's a real quick, hey boys, like shape up, because now we got a long road back in this map, and it begins now.
I mean, we've heard that from HooXi so many times, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. I mean, I'm just wondering, how worried do you get for Astralis if they lose Ancient? You know, we have Mirage up next. a real opportunity there for FUT to go 2-0 up in this BO5.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be at least somewhat worried, right? Considering we know it's the map that FUT love to go to. Although I'll tell you this, their Mirage didn't look that great yesterday against MongolZ, so we can get back to that more in the second map. But yeah, definitely cause for concern if you're hoping Astralis is going to take this grand final. Stack in middle and towards Donut, all 5 players from Astralis present. No flashbang to activate anything. Complete save with USPs.
Well, an empty B bomb site always feels nice to arrive to. Krabeni on the adventure. Always on the search, always on the lookout.
On the T sides, he's generally he's generally like the solo man for this team, as he's kind of calling them and playing away from his calls. He likes to be the one to hunt down information, see what he can find. Hasn't seen anything now, but Symmetry has. He goes down, the Galilla's in the open. Okay, these fights not as clean, and the pistol's doing good damage. 2 players survive, no chance of losing the round, but very expensive. And the unfortunate side of Krabeni being the one to go investigate is he had an AK-47,
yeah,
so that's a very nice weapon passed over to Ryu.
Well, let's see if Ryu can do anything with it. You know, he's had a really tough final so far, 0-11.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd have to point, you know, I mentioned the Hooksy in the interview saying, you know, there's some guys who I can tell are a little bit affected by the nerves. You'd have to think Ryu's one of them, as one of the more inexperienced guys coming into this team.
And that's where I also feel like you got to win Ancient here. If you end up going 2 maps down, you talk about the mental weakness at times for Astralis. Like, you're going to have to be incredibly mentally strong to pull off a reverse sweep in a BO5.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. We've seen teams, it's happened so rarely over the history of Counter-Strike.
Well, 10-4 right now for FUT Esports. Finally, a buy coming in for Astralis, but you can see there's weaknesses in it already. Stairs having to play with him for Mass. Gabby's out of utility already. Let's see if FUT can just pounce up to 11 rounds here. Demon under a lot of pressure, spraying, and because of the damage done, the utility is enough to take Ryu away. So he's 0-12 now. The woes continue.
Very similar CT opening to the half that Astralis ran back at the Pro League 3rd, 4th place decider. Aggressive down the B ramp to open up the gun rounds. They dominated him in that time. So Demon well prepared on what beat him previously.
Already into the B side. Demon catches Hooksy. I'm sure he's going to be shocked that he's getting taken down with utility in his hands, with players already all over the B bomb site. That's the round done. That is 11-4.
Tell you what, Coolio gave an interview, the coach of FUT, saying like, you know, we know exactly what we come into this, what our game plan is and what we want to exploit. And I think we're seeing a lot of that here. Look at how convincing, look at how decisive they are after that first push from Demon for them to just be like, let's just walk into the B bomb site. Like, decision is just made. It's just there.
And because they're so quick to make the decisions, you can see they're like catching Hooksy off. He's like, oh, I didn't expect you to be so committed to the B bomb site already.
He's like, okay, they got to pick. They'll probably pause, wait for a reaction. And I got some time to put out this smoke and look for someone to take this portion of map control. But FUT's playing a different game right now. Now, thankfully, Ryu does get that AK-47 in the previous round because he's got $2,000 in the bank. That's going to help him buy into the next round. I think the tough thing for Astralis, however, is I imagine you're still going to be kept off the AWP, right? Like, Ryu can buy one and drop it over, but then he's going to be a glass cannon M4, and that's no fun, you know?
I mean, we bring it up, right? Astralis didn't have a great game versus Eyeballers, and they've referenced that, we referenced that, but they still come back and they win Ancient. The difference is when you're playing against a team like FUT, they're not going to allow you those mistakes and those moments as consistently to allow you back into the game the way they got against Eyeballers. So you've seen run out of ideas immediately, who you see make mistakes and feed Astralis kills. You're not getting those right now from FUT. So when you have a slow start, you're actually just going to be punished.
And I think FUT also, I mean, there's also like the exponential build on that, which is FUT just stylistically is going to be very strong at playing with momentum. They're a little bit faster. They're a little bit more pacey, like really good at trading kills, really sharp aim. They want to get stuck into fights.
And I think they're really creative too. So the problem of Eyeballers running out of ideas isn't the case for FUT. They're going to keep coming up with ideas, and I think it's fantastic to see them come out swinging this hard in the grand final, because this is a team who are so inexperienced. We literally talk about them only coming onto the world stage in the first season of this year, and they're in a final, and they're about to go 1 map up in the grand final.
Yeah, that was a question back at Pro League as well when they upset MongolZ in the quarterfinals. And you could see them like first time on a stage. Granted, it wasn't a big arena stage, but they handled that pressure extremely well.
Good start here from Steph. FOZE trying to slow them down. He's done a decent job at that. But then Jukes just keeps on coming. So FUT relentless, merciless as they get in towards the site. Another opportunity, but Ryu finally getting a kill. And it's a very important one as well. It keeps Astralis ahead here, and Jukes is on 4 HP.
Yeah, this round is all on Krabeni from here on out. He's the only one who's going to be able to win the round. And I think he's just saying, you know what, screw it. Let's just come right back, see if they rotate off. Another smoke comes in, and that one's going to scare them away. So backing off, 2 defenders in Donut, Ryu and Yabi starting to slide through for mid control. HooXi's going to slowly move towards the B bomb site, cautiously checking every single corner. Timing is everything on this mid play. They might just meet here at elbow, but if Ryu and Yabi are jumping up...
Oh, clean headshot, down to a 1v2. Ryu's going to back away. Obviously, the big issue here is 4 HP left on Jugs.
Yeah, but this is a sick play from Jugs. What he's done is just a hard bait on Krabeni because he wasn't there for the trade and obviously no HP, so he's trying to find his timing, but oh, it's been spotted.
Yeah, HooXi comes in at the right time. Okay, you have something to celebrate there if you're Astralis, but it has to be the first of many.
Yeah, it took 3 timeouts as well to kind of get that round. They had to burn their 3rd one a little bit early, or extremely early, I should say. 11-5, a 6-round lead. Plenty of money over on the FUT side for another buy. They're out of cash after this, so that's the reprieve for Astralis.
Gotta earn it, gotta fight for it. You might get that economic reset that'll give you some space to play with.
And it would happen at a point where you could still come back and fight for a win in regulation.
Obviously, it has to be perfect, but it's right there. Yabi gonna move over and get into the donut. You're gonna have HooXi stepping out of the cave. Ryu making his way down to the bottom of the ramp. And he's gonna have to fall back due to that utility. So Ryu once again playing from the site. Demon trying to connect it. Not gonna be landing any of those shots.
HooXi's going to be forced out by a Molotov. He pairs up with Ryu. He's off the goose egg. 2 kills for Ryu. Seeing if he can build anything more into it. Flashes in. He takes the angle. Krabeni just backs off. No desire for that fight.
Felt like Astralis were losing everything there, right? They lost mid, they lost cave. They had to fight for something back to get a little bit of control towards Jag. But here come FUT. They're going to be setting players up in the B lane. Could be a B execution. But where's the utility for that? They've only got a smoke, a flash, and an HE.
Not great.
3 players here is 4 now.
A contact peek, you're just going to try and catch him off guard. And you might just be able to do it. This timing's actually not bad.
Yeah, they're up. Stair's out of position. And Stair will die. Ryu goes down inside of cave, so now it's FOZE, your last hope. That rifle unchecked, needs a multi, can't get it. And HooXi will try and dish out some utility, but I mean, you have 4 players over here, and FUT have no utility, and they still get in this cleanly.
Yeah, that's one of those rounds that's going to be atrocious when you watch back on film. Lovely work from FUT. They've got all the answers, just walking in. Who cares about the utility? Nobody's spotting it deep enough for Astralis. And a 7-round lead, 7 chances to close out this first map. The map that Astralis wanted this to come to. The map that Astralis felt the most comfortable on in this series to pick it first.
A map that Astralis have won both times. They've played it against FUT. A 13-6 the first time it came out, and a 13-4 most recently. Well, now they're down 12-5. What a different story. We've got Lunks running out middle, looking for the opening kill. It's going to be Jukes to take it. Yabi burns Lunks away. So a trade at least in from Astralis. HooXi trying to fight, get out towards heaven, but you see Jukes is waiting for that and has done a lot of damage to HooXi. Not going to slow him down, though. Not deter him. He's actually just got to take a risk. So he jumps down into middle. He picks up that AK. But it's going to be FUT going for the A finish, hoping this is the knockout blow on Ancient.
Yeah, but there's a pretty decent... Oh, Shadow shows. Oh, wow. That one's just barely off the mark. Molotov towards CT spawn. You've got HooXi over in Donut. He's going to be joined up by 2 players as well.
Oh, FOZE dies. And now you have to rely upon Yabi, but he's now been smoked out. A risk needs to be taken. HooXi will be the man to do it. HooXi gets traded. You still got Yabi close by, but that plant is coming in. He goes out to deny it. He will deny the plant and put it all on Ryu. 2 kills in the entire map. And now he's asked to double his kill count in a 1v2.
They haven't seen him in CT either, so I think I have a great read of his position.
He's got no kit on his back. And he steps out into the open, Symmetry holding for it, and he's got the kill. Dominant in the opening map of this grand final. FUT have taken it 13-5 on Ancient. Astralis need to wake up, otherwise this could be a very quick final.
Indeed it could, Dinko. We talked about how quick this best of 5 could be because of the pace that FUT liked to play at, and Astralis, they weren't able to slow that down on Ancient.
That was a good old-fashioned
Astralis in the series that they've played throughout this year, the most played map they've had across all 5 series. So strong in the favor of FUT. Both teams had struggles on it though recently. This is the map that Astralis lost to Eyeballers early on in the group stage of the event that made HooXi really frustrated. Mentioned they couldn't be proud of their performance in that game. And FUT yesterday against the Mongols in the semifinals had a really, really tough time on the T side, which is where they'll be starting today. I went back and looked at it last night. They didn't win. They won 4 rounds in the first half on their T side, but it was all at the A bomb site. They didn't win a single round going to the B bomb site. They didn't win they weren't even really able to take mid away from the Mongols either. Everything focused on these A executes. And if that continues today, strategically, Astralis might just be able to get in front of that one.
Well, surprise, surprise, we're going A for FUT in this pistol round. They're going to be coming out of Palace and the ramp in towards Step. He'll play from CT spawn. He's got a teammate with him as well, FOZE. Only damage being done. Stairs taking first blood, but Jukes to respond, and then the follow-up from Cemetery. So that site is overrun. Laux gets a kill out towards jungle, and hard to see how you throw this one away. They did yesterday.
Yeah, they can play the game. They're good at it. All right, Laux is going to find the kill. This time it's secured.
This is exactly what they did against MongolZ yesterday, right? Was the quick A hit. They got in towards CT, but then they went a little bit too far, and you heard Krabeni immediately as they lost that pistol saying, okay, we're not doing that again. We're not allowed to do that again, and I think it slowed down that T side, and they only got the 4 rounds you mentioned because they had a slow start to the game because they messed up the pistol.
Yeah, it could have been a much better one for sure. This is getting them started on the right foot and also helping them carry that momentum over from Ancient. I mean, you could just see how aggressive they are. Astralis players trying to take some passive angles, maybe just clip one player off as they cross into the bomb site, play to live and play for the retake, but FUT's just so sharp right now. Those kills come in so fast when they peek into the angles.
Well, we know Counter-Strike is a game of confidence, right? We hear that all the time, mentality is so important. You got to feel confident. I mean, FUT on their run have something to be proud of and can be confident with how they're playing as individuals. I mean, the whole season has been fantastic for FUT, who have risen up from a Tier 2 team to making it to playoffs of Tier 1 events, now in a grand final. So there's a lot to be confident about for FUT.
Well, you say all that before adding in, especially if you want to zero in on this map in particular. We just mentioned the Mongols win they had in the semifinals, even though it wasn't pretty. They also beat PVISION on this map.
Yes.
They've had some very good wins on this map. They've had some very good runs recently. I think they've even mentioned it was Cemetery who said that win over MongolZ in the playoffs at EPL. That was the one that's given him more confidence as an individual. He says he's feeling very comfortable. I gave an interview with HLTV. They said, you've been under a little bit of scrutiny. How are things feeling? And he's like, yeah, well, ever since we played that game and we matched up and we upset them, I felt really comfortable and haven't felt any nerves. And I feel like I'm doing a lot better just moving around the map and hitting shots. So, yeah, confidence just at an all-time high for FUT right now.
Yeah, and I'm flipping out to the other side and looking at Astralis, a team that I love it when HooXi's being candid and speaking and telling us what he's actually thinking about his team instead of, just putting a PR answer out there. But as a player, we're younger players like Ryu or FOZE coming into the team who haven't had the greatest amount of experience in the top. Do you think that there's any element of our income leader's kind of going out there and saying that we're not playing well enough, saying that we're mentally weak at the moment?
Well,
then you get banged down, you're opening map the grand final. I mean, your confidence is not going to be at an all-time high by any means.
I mean, if that bothers you, then you are mentally weak, and that's where you need to show your most improvement, right? You want to draw. Okay, hold the phone. HooXi's going to push up, forces Laux to fall all the way back. Double piece of aggression up these stairs. So control of the B halls, but look at the reaction. Look how quick it is. FUT's just going to walk up con. Smoke to provide some cover, re-smoke in towards window. I have to think they're going through the smoke. I have to think they're not going to slow down whatsoever.
Yeah, they're in the jungle, backtracking in towards HooXi. Oh, a team kill, actually. So the kill comes in anyway from Demon, and they do crush this defense. So
okay, the comms could have been a little bit cleaner, but it's going to be okay. I'm sure it was a lovely shot from Jukes' point of view.
It looked great.
It did.
It's just like the eclipse of his teammate though in front of HooXi. An unfortunate scenario there, but it doesn't matter. That was the only kill they took, so going against them.
Maybe we'll see it in the replay. Maybe he was actually shooting at the CT and Krabeni just walked in front of him.
Astralis don't get a kill in this round. Every kill, even the team kill, happens from FUT.
To touch, I want to go back to that HooXi point, because if you want to draw a comparison, look over at Apex, because that's been a conversation of his leadership, is like how animated he is and how emotional he gets, and how clearly sometimes in the matches, especially, you know, on the rise of Vitality, you know, now that they're winning everything, nobody really talks about it, but when they weren't winning everything, it was like, is this actually making them perform worse? But on the other hand, you need the leadership figure in this team pushing you towards perfection, right?
Yeah.
Always trying to attain it.
You're meant to perform. It's a performance business, and you gotta get some of those performances here. But yeah, there you go.
We'll forgive it.
Yeah, understandable. But then Demon just goes in and clears out everybody anyway, so no problem at all. Great round from Demon.
Oh, Lam, I'm sorry, baby. I just didn't give him kill.
Dude, that kind of, yeah.
I like that he called him baby.
Yeah, I like that. Deep voice as well, Jason. That was good.
That's how you know it's a team.
Sorry, baby. I like that. All right, well, 3-0 start here from FUT, and it's just the one rifle here for Fuzi. So really not expecting too much to get going here for Astralis whatsoever. So at this point for FUT, you've just won Ancient really quickly. Now you're getting a great start on Mirage, a map you have a great head-to-head history on. I'm feeling really good about FUT in this grand final.
Yeah, this is it's shaping up very well. Dust mentioned at the before the game went started that he loved the map veto, the sequence of maps for FUT. We're seeing a little bit of that here. Good turn from the flash for FOZY, and Krabeni's not ready for it. 2 players in there, and that's an AK recovered, a Molotov, and FOZY's going to go down. But they don't know about Yabby yet. Good win, and now they realize the window is compromised. What a turn from Symmetry.
And they can't catch a break. Good reaction. Symmetry with 2 in the round. Now these 3-5-7s, you still stand a chance. Folks making a little sound there.
Still stand a chance, especially considering FUT's like 1 by 1 by 1, all in their own different positions and locations. Jugs is taking a big risk clearing this out all on his own. Hooksy's moved up towards short. He's going to turn the corner now. He wants one of those rifles over in ladder room. Good kill. Oh.
Gets away with a second too. Lounks, why not get all 3? There we go. Lounks.
No
FUT
problems.
loving this right now.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. 3 different angles, and Hooksy just shaking his head. I think that's a little bit of frustration. Maybe not that anyone necessarily did anything wrong, just feeling like individually at the moment, Astralis not able to match up with the FUT side with how hard they're hitting. And I mean, you had a couple of those pop-offs on the first map from Yabby, from Stare, that felt like that could get the energy in there, that could turn things around, but still haven't seen the individuals from Astralis continuously and consistently able to contend with their counterparts on the other side of the map.
Well, good start, Krabeni and Yabby, 1 for 1. Yabby looking to maintain some mid-control, but you mentioned just how often FUT are going to hit this A-bomb site. Here they come out the ramp. Ryu needed it. Got a second. Symmetry to trade it. Still a 2v2 and 1:30 on the clock. You've got Krabeni in middle, and you'll see Symmetry back away.
Yeah, how fast do they pivot over to the B bomb site though, right? There are smokes up at the moment. This feels very much like a commitment to the A bomb site. And again, very convincing. Krabeni already moving up short. He'll be able to get up into ladder room if he wants it. He can push towards market. Great position to have information on how fast the rotation is coming. And Astralis is just parking themselves at the wrong map. All that attention towards the A bomb site, probably the knowledge that FUT love to go to the A bomb site as well as keeping them there. This one's going to close out nice and easy for free, essentially. I think if you're Yabby and Hooksy and this bomb gets planted now, you're not even moving to go for this. No kits and no significant utility to speak of.
Oh, he's got the information. You hear the comms on our headsets, at least. You can hear that spotting the player out. Calling. Krabeni's going to move in towards the ladder room. And Symmetry is going to play back towards the bench. We've now got Krabeni stopping Hooksy from walking out a little bit closer to him. It's now Yabby going down as well. And even though Astralis give it a go, they still do not recover the round. FUT holding on. And that even number situation falls in favor of FUT. Just continuing to have woe after woe piled on top here for Astralis.
Yeah, this is getting rough. It's getting really, really painful. I felt like they really needed to go for that 2-on-2. They'll have to drop down to MP9s. Just getting absolutely buried. Back-to-back maps. Ancient started out 7-1 in the favor of FUT. Now they're up 5-0 on Mirage.
Well, 3 MP9s, a 5-7, and a D-goal for Astralis.
Reverse sweeps are hard enough without getting completely deleted on the first 2 maps.
Yeah.
We need to see the fight out of Astralis from here on out. Time to show us what got you here. They've had these frustrations and these stresses and these kind of lackluster starts at different phases throughout the tournament. They've been able to turn it around a number of times.
But I do feel like they are showing us how they've got here, Jason. I think they've been limping through this tournament at times. And they're getting punished by a team that have run through it and got to this grand final. It's going to be Stair with an AK. Just, that's it. There's nothing you can do about this if you're Stair. Just try and hold on to this. For FUT, I mean, we've talked about this team and the progression. It's happening really quickly in this season. You know, every step they take is like another step towards this team leveling up. They come into the start of the year, they look great. You know, they don't make the playoffs of Krakow. No one was really expecting them to do so. You know, they lose a ridiculous round against G2 where they had lost against full USPs, then went on to lose that map and then lose the last game of the group stages. They come back to Cluj, they get close again, but it's heartbreak before they can move into the arena. They come to Pro League, they qualify to the playoffs via the online stage, and then they beat Maus, having to come back in that game and beat one of the favorites for the whole tournament. We say that's the next step for them. And now they come to this event, they're in the grand final, and they're looking like they're going to win it. The next tournament coming up is Blast Rivals in Fort Worth. And so you look at that tournament, and yes, that's where the likes of Vitality return. You've got Furia.
You get that next test, that next step up, right?
But I feel like FUT could do some real damage over there, especially with the confidence and experience of a tournament win.
Yeah, it could be very cool. And then let's take an even wider lens on that. Zoom out a little bit even more.
Then you go to the major.
Yeah, well, we also touched on Astralis. This being the opportunity to grab their first trophy in 7 years since 2019. It's taken 7 years for them to find a lineup and find a group of players that it feels like is making progress in the right way and consistently enough to start contending for trophies. FUT as an organization just stepped into Counter-Strike a year ago. Yeah. It's been a year. Starting out with the French lineup, they had Scream on there as like a sixth man who was like a streamer and content. I believe Nevera was there, and then they kind of
doesn't actually exactly scream competitive ambitions.
Yeah, but then they strike gold with picking up this roster when they're dropped by the Navi program as well from the academy and junior system. So, man, like what a contrast of FUT, who's just able to step in and say, "Yep, it'll take a year," and now all of a sudden we're looking at trophies.
You mentioned that PVISION win on Mirage and how much confidence that's given them, and Lounx in particular was the star of the show against PVISION. He's 9-1 at the moment, so we're getting that Lounx Mirage deliverance, and I want to see a little bit more of it. We're going to see Fuzi going towards top middle. The head of Demon will be spotted but not taken off, so Astralis have mid-control. Yabi is alone. All of his teammates are going to fall away, but he'll maintain his position.
Seems almost like they're between multiple different ideas. 3 players playing around Con at the moment. They're kind of taking a risk that the A-bomb site is going to be the point of attack, but so many resources in middle and aggressive in middle has taken any support away from HooXi.
Yeah, and you see as they were falling back towards connector, Yabi's mouth was racing there, communicating.
Kerveni's going to throw out these smokes for mid-control a little bit late to try and throw a fake. I mean, it's not going to fake anyone out because they're in front of the smokes, but it might keep them frozen here to make sure that no one's going to be swinging wide. HooXi's on an island.
Yeah, an important fight to be won there that allows you to come back, and here we go. Can HooXi hold on? Can he get anything? He needs to play his life, but he's hunted down. Jukes has removed him. That plant is coming in towards the site, and Astralis will have to play this one on retake. Now, they have got a health advantage, and now player advantage too. Lox is gone. Jukes on 33 HP. You can see Symmetry trying to pull that kill back, but everybody's going down. All of a sudden, though, Demon and Symmetry enter the kill feed, and now Symmetry on his own. The 1v2 required, and the gates of the Symmetry wide open. He clutches it up. Incredible again from a player who's received a little bit of criticism inside of this squad, but he is stepping up in this grand final.
God damn, 8-0. What a clutch, what a round. Holding on over towards short as well, just protecting his team as they come in, eliminating that part of the attack. Plays it just about perfectly. Almost caught off guard, but we know he's fast. He's real quick. And that's the confidence we just touched on. Look at the way he's able to build into it and step into this clutch. The confidence as well. Switch to the Deagle. You don't know where he's at. You need the dynamic weapon. And the double tap to Fozy. This team is fired up in these grand finals, and they are burying Astralis. Spread out into a default to start round 8. Fozy's got a hero up. The number 5 man, that's over towards Ticket. Moving in this direction with 2 players up in holes. Lounx over at ramp, but he's got to hold himself back just a little bit. Don't take that angle, don't take that peek dry. Symmetry's getting plenty of time after that clutch to find a pick, to find an Astralis player wandering into the open, but the defense standing their ground for the moment.
Oh, well, that sounded like a clean one tap.
That did sound like a very clean one tap, indeed.
29 bullets left in the mag as well.
Oh,
yeah.
just taking a nap.
Fair enough. Chilling against the wall. 8-0.
He's about to get backstabbed, Kerbeni, not considering it. And then as soon as he dies, that's going to be the go signal for the rest of his team.
Yeah. In the meantime, though, Lynx is also taking a kill.
That's the ult.
On FaZe, yeah. So you've taken the big weapon out here. Ryu's 5-7. He's getting one, and an AK-47 now picked up. Still a few pieces available here for Astralis to make this one competitive. An important kill from Demon, and all of a sudden it is Jugs in a 1v2. Last clutch went the way of FUT. Looking forward again! Oh my god, nearly transitions down for it. If he had gotten that one, I just don't know how Astralis would get back into this half.
No, but that's a round I think you're gonna, if you're Coolio, you're marking. He said in an interview, you know, that we have young players. They control in certain situations. This round is a little bit trolly. 4-on-3, you don't need to be jumping over to the stairs to clear that out. You know it's a lower buy. You've already seen some of the weapons out. You've taken away the AWP. Just play the range, play distance, play for the bomb plant, and they just get a little bit too eager to close out this round. And maybe it's where like the momentum is building, the adrenaline is pumping, you're up 7-0, and you're just feeling on top of the world. So Astralis, this is their chance like Ancient. Finally, they carve a round out. Can they build upon it? On Ancient, they were able to rattle off 3 in a row to bring this back to a respectable scoreline.
Lynx with acceleration. Here they come fast into the B-bomb site. HooXi can't handle the pace, and all of his teammates are gone. You got Yabby in middle. He's the quickest rotator back, and FOZE as well from Market. So Smoke Break, 2 really important kills coming in from Astralis that keep this one on the table.
Oh, nice dink as well. This is going to be a tough one to hold on to if you're FUT. Double kill from Lynx.
Murderous from Lynx. Demons in the kill feed, and FOZE can't do anything about this. Even when Astralis fight themselves into a position where they have the advantage, it is ripped right out of their hands. FUT with the acceleration, smashing into that B-bomb site. HooXi can't handle it, and his teammates rotate over. They even do enough, but in the end, that post plant is too strong.
There's too much happening on the map that Astralis can't really play for. There's too much success everywhere on the map now for FUT that Astralis can't really call to be, you know, you're losing the B-bomb site. You're losing middle when they go there. You're losing the A-bomb site when they head in that direction. You can't ever like call to set something up. You could see they want to have the plan at times of taking mid away, but the pace change is just absolutely brutal. And unlike against the Mongols where they struggled in all those B hits, there's not a second player at the bomb site. There's not nades and Molotovs just disjoining the attack. They're just getting ran over. 8-1 now for FUT.
I remember coming into those tournaments and we were discussing who are the favorites. Obviously, we're missing out on the top dogs. You don't have the likes of Vitality, Furia, Spirit. But you look at this team FUT, and they weren't in the top conversation. It was ParaVision, it was MongolZ, and it was Astralis, were the 3 teams that people were listing off. FUT obviously a dark horse, but the way that they're playing right now is incredible, and they have beaten those favorite teams along the way. They're taking ParaVision, MongolZ, and now Astralis sitting in this situation. They're getting absolutely wrecked. Now, a couple of kills at least coming in for Astralis to kick this round off. Another fast B hit, FUT into a 3v4.
They got utility, smoke Molotov on Symmetry.
No longer does that advantage stand with Astralis. Once these bomb plants come in, FUT looks so good in the post plant. You can see they're always looking for the next fight.
Keeping track of information, DPC utility, that's the AWP down, huge kill, but better return from Lynx, very important. Now a 1-on-2 for Ryu.
Yeah, trying to step up here. Ryu, market window, out he goes, down he goes. Lynx ready for that, and it doesn't matter how many casualties FUT take along the way. As long as that bomb gets planted, they always stand a shot at winning the round here.
I think FUT's just hitting this like crazy critical mass of confidence to where they're willing to like peak and take every single fight. Astralis always feel like there's going to be an extra beat, you know, an extra moment where they get to breathe to make a move, and it's always when the fight is coming in because FUT's not afraid of anything right now.
I mean, you were talking about the fact that the other day we just seen FUT be kind of one-dimensional. There was a lot of A hits, a couple of different looks to get into the A bomb site, but you know, it was all about A. This game is quickly becoming, okay, we sense a weakness on that B-bomb site. HooXi's the anchor, quite often alone, and he's 1 in 10 right now. So they're just hitting him over and over again.
I think there's also the issue, you know, Astralis on this map against Eyeballers in that disappointing game that they lost. The only rounds they really won on the CT side is when they were hyper-aggressive in middle and setting up traps in middle and stopping Eyeballers from controlling part of that map. So I think in some sense they're almost in a trap where they're looking at that and they just got out of that Mirage game and feel like middle is where they have the most effective defense. But FUT's playing the extremities of the map right now, just walking right around some of the setups that you're playing with. And I mean, at this point, the hard thing for Astralis is you can no longer leave HooXi alone. Like, that's back-to-back rounds where he just gets destroyed. Not necessarily by any fault of his own. He's just the only one there. There's no support to stop everything, to stem the tide of players coming out of holes.
So you're going to have to reallocate some resources to defending B, which obviously weakens somewhere else on the map. And Cemetery, missed shot. He's a runaway, doesn't have the bomb on his back. Look how quick this is again. They're in connector. The round's just started. Stair's going to spot them. Okay, that's more like it. Stair taking all 3 plays as they walk through the smoking con.
Yeah, hard to fault FUT for a play like that. Everything's been working. They walked through the smoke earlier to success. They walked through a smoke to beat MongolZ on this map, 13-11, to get into the grand finals as well. This time just get caught. Nice shooting from Stair and HooXi. First time we can really commend the Astralis players in this half. A 7-round lead for FUT. Looking for double digits before switching sides. An absolute disaster for Astralis on these first 2 maps. Not how they would have imagined things going to bed last night, waking up this morning. Not the way they would have envisioned it.
Yeah, this is... They're hoping they haven't woken up yet. You know, this is a nightmare that they're having right now, but it is reality. And from the other side, they haven't woken up. I think it was Dust or Bly highlighting that on the desk. Like, Astralis as individuals aren't here. They're not online. FUT have got everybody popping off.
This is great. I mean, Astralis is saying we will leave HooXi alone again because we know you like to go to the A-bomb site. We'll stack up there for the last round. They're just dead wrong because FUT's had so much success here. HooXi managed to go 1 for 1.
Oh, they keep doing that, though. They keep giving FOZE the chance on that market window break. So at least they've pulled a kill in favor of Astralis for this last round of the half. They're going to try and get through. But these post plants have been so good for FUT.
Well, they always have so much utility left, right? When they get in, because it's so fast-paced, they just dumped everything. Only 2 flashes remaining for the FUT side.
The other worrying factor is they're all coming through the same position.
Yeah, no flank. Uh-oh.
Oh, they're about to get shredded. They're about to get melted! Cemetery with 2. Yabby and Stair both dead. And just like that, the advantage Astralis once held has comfortably gone in favor of FUT. FUT are just steamrolling Astralis and stepping towards the trophy. Another huge half from FUT, 10-2 up. How do you even come back from this? There's just no way I can see that happening.
No, not at all. Not even worth talking about a reverse sweep at this point because Astralis not even here yet. It's the way you could see that coming. As soon as he pulls the flashbang out, you're like, oh God, those players are in so much trouble. 3 versus 4 in the post plant, and FUT dominate the situation.
Can you imagine HooXi in the comms as well? He's like, well, they've rushed B again, guys.
I don't know. At this point, it might not even be worth getting angry about.
I mean, just the fact that, okay, surely this is the round they go back to A. No, they just come at B again.
But I mean, that's, yeah, and that's got to be a frustrating thing too. But like, how are you supposed to call it? How are you supposed to read it when wherever they go, they're getting kills. Wherever they go, they're shutting you down. They're getting into bomb sites, winning rounds. There's no way to really read what's coming next because FUT was so dominant that Kerbeni just had complete control of this game tactically in that half. I don't think anything's going to switch here. We came into this feeling like both these teams were very evenly matched, and I still believe that to some extent. Obviously, clearly a really, really bad day so far for Astralis in the office. But man, FUT's making this just look, they're making it look so one-sided, so crazy.
Astralis going to be heading towards the A-bomb site in this pistol round.
As the weaker defense as well, so at least something's going in the favor of Astralis, at least for now.
Coming back, though.
Before the shooting begins.
Cemetery. That Palace nade's going to be good onto Yabby. There's 20 damage. They move into the site. They cross beyond the smoke. So Astralis into the site, not losing a player. As soon as I say that, Longs gets one through the smoke. Ryu pushing down towards CT. Now he needs to be careful he doesn't go too far. If he's to round that corner, multiple targets ready to remove him. So Ryu stands and he waits because he knows he's got his teammates behind him. Here comes the flash. Ryu with the first was in front of that flashbang, so it's ineffective on him. And then Yabby sent forward into the fight as well. They're cleaning up, and FOZE gets both of those kills towards CT. So it's Longs 1v3.
Yeah, well, that one's pretty much done and dusted, isn't it? No kit either. So Lounx just trying to manage these angles. It's not going to happen. Astralis, a little bit of a reprieve off a weakened A defense with only one player playing retake, able to get in, able to control CT spawn retake, and a nice pistol round victory. They're first of this series.
Yeah, it was a strong hit towards the A-bomb site. And that's even a great 4v5 conversion as well for Astralis. They lost the initial player. Lonks got one through the smoke. Obviously needs to be one hell of a T side here.
Yeah,
Astralis.
it really does.
Got a bit of a buy going on here. How many of these rounds do we see FUT win though? When they get a Deagle out, when they have a couple of Deags on the server.
Krabeni's Deagle was wild yesterday, wasn't it?
Demon too.
Demons as well.
Obviously, if they win this, it's just death sentence on the map for Astralis.
That'd be death sentence in the series.
Yeah.
I think morale at an all-time low if that comes to pass.
Good nade. 46 HP here on Krabeni.
Caught him with his face. Utility up in window room. Utility at top con as well. So Jug's line of sight is taken away. Just some spam shots through the smoke, hoping he can get lucky. Nothing connects. Look at the difference in philosophies as well. Astralis doing the classic, takes a little bit of map control, take it piece by piece, slowly move into the bomb site, restrict where the defense can be playing. Well, in the first half, it was brute force from FUT.
Oh, Mac 10 picked up. Krabeni just jumps out of the window, and that was your moment. The first kill coming in. Can't let this one go. Starts a strong position. Nade towards him. Backs off. Lank's looking to fight him. And he has lost that engagement. Star holding him around. It's Demon not wanting to step through. Trying to be as competitive as he
Look
can.
at his teammate, though. This is why he doesn't want to stay. He wants the attention to remain here.
Well, it's worked out pretty well. Yeah, he's looking for it, but he's low HP. He can take a body shot. He's down. Okay, there's the shot for Jukes. Hasn't taken it, and eventually Stair does get Demon walking through that murder hole. So Astralis, I mean, getting into the site, not looking like they were going to lose that round. And the fizz bumps come in.
Nice attempt from Jugs. Nice slow little flank over towards jungle. Yeah, look at the FUT side of things. 17 kills on Lonks. He's been a beast, but 11 kills apiece on Demon, Symmetry, and Jugs. There's team-wide effort. For the Astralis side of things, Yavi's up at 10, Ryu at 9 with Stare. Krabeni's invested in a Hero M4. Positioned over at the A bomb site. I imagine he'll be pretty mobile depending on what he senses, but Astralis is reconvening towards this bomb site. No stack yet, no read, nobody from FUT aggressive on the map to gather information or say that anything's clear. So Astralis a huge advantage, but the X factor of that M4.
Now Util flying over, execution arriving. Jokes hoping he can catch one initially. Trying to set up this Krabeni rifle off the back of triple, but Jokes has got nothing. Krabeni, good for one, going out into the open, needs to be clean, and not so clean on that second attempt. Straws fall to 3 players. Symmetry has his knife out and just a USP, so not going to be getting too much here. It's a 5th round for Astralis.
Potential was there though, right place. Krabeni, ooh, good dinks. Okay, not able to do it. Hooksy's able to spray him down. So Astralis creep a little bit closer. The lead is cut to just 5. 10 rounds for FUT, 5 for Astralis. But the first buy round for FUT's defensive side is coming in right now. Krabeni a little bit limited on utility because of the M4 in the previous round, but they do have the AWP on Symmetry. They got a kit on Lonks to play with in this round. And that AWP is going to start over on short. Astralis, hear these footsteps pushing towards Cat.
Yeah.
Nobody's home in middle to get punished, though.
Very heavy B. Now, the B bomb side, I feel like failed a lot of times against MongolZ yesterday.
Dude, Astralis might think both defenders are on short because they hear 2 footsteps, but Demon's there as well, waiting inside the bomb site. And that's a rare miss from Symmetry. Good job from Krabeni to pick it up.
Well, now they know it's going to be this B hit. Lonks is looking hot today, so he's taking himself a headshot on Yabi. Going up again, can't get stabbed, but Demon certainly will. Tries to control himself for that kill on Ryu. Couldn't finish him off, but then Ryu steps into the open. Krabeni had already leaped through that window back into the B bomb site and puts FOZE in the clutch. The 1v2, bomb spilled to the ground, and Krabeni, he's not even sitting back. He's still moving forward. He's looking for you, and he will get that kill.
You know, I mentioned at the start of the series that I thought Astralis was going to be the better tactical team and FUT was just going to be punching a lot harder. FUT's the better tactical team so far in this game.
They're fragging better. They're better tactically.
Look at this trap they just set up. I don't even know if they necessarily intended it, but the double push with one player hanging back at the B bomb site, Astralis get completely caught off guard by that 3rd defender. And once again, I mean, they just have. They have to burn their 3rd and final timeout. It's just so early. 5-11. Both maps, all 3 timeouts used by Astralis, and it never seems like it's been able to turn things to click in. Haven't been able to find the recipe on Ancient, haven't been able to find it here on Mirage either. Nuke is going to be the next map in this series, the 3rd map, and that could just decide who's taking the trophy home between these 2 teams. Likely to be the decider unless Astralis have a complete turnaround right now.
Symmetry. Into the underpass peak. Takes down step. He'll drop back into the connector. Yeah, going forward, not going to break that ramp smoke. Astralis with 3 players waiting outside of A. Symmetry now rotating over to be a 3rd defender of this A bomb site.
Yeah, basically just swap positions with Jugs. So it looks like they want to clear out middle first. 2 players on short, 2 players in con. They're happy with the 5-on-4 at the moment. Content to let Symmetry just try and pick 1 player off on any kind of an A exec. They want to make sure the middle of the map is under their control and no portion of this attack can get up through con.
Well, it's just HooXi in mid. Deagle behind the top boxes. Going to be put under pressure. Krebeni goes out, gets that kill. And now the reaction from Astralis, the thrust in towards the side. Now you have taken Symmetry down so quickly. And you haven't allowed him a kill, so this is the only way in for Astralis. They get into the site, but can they hold on to it?
FOZI's got the bomb. They want another kill first, so now he's going to dip back. Okay, swing from the AK inside the site.
Now the
Yabi can't
CT
get the
players
kill.
arrived. Oh, that bomb is going to go down. Lounx has removed him, and now the last headshot. Lounx has got that one as well.
20 kills on Lounx. What a performance. You love to see that from the guy who we can tell has just been the heart and soul of this team. Well, Krebeni is the brains. He's the guy keeping them hyped up and keeping the energy in the right place. It's the role he's carved out for him in this squad.
This Na'Vi junior team they once were, and MongolZ, most promising player, getting ripped out of this team and sent to the main roster of Na'Vi. We've seen what he's capable of. But then you go and find Lounx, who he was touted as one of the next up-and-coming player. He got a couple of chances, but he
Right
said
around the Rio Major, right?
Yeah, exactly. He said he wasn't mature enough or wasn't in the position enough, didn't have the players around him to really make the most of that, and he wants to be that player for these guys, and he's been such a talisman for them coming into this roster, really leveling up FUT's maturity, and they have done some special things to kick off 2026. They're about to go 2-0 up in this grand final. Symmetry holding on to the B bomb site. Astralis flooding in. Kills coming through, and a 3v3.
Yeah, I couldn't find that follow-up. Molotov is out. Retake on the cards. Molotov not going to spread over to FOZI, so the bomb does fall. Or excuse me, does get planted. Jugs trying to spam, trying to find the timing. Almost had it. Another smoke over towards Market, so Krebeni's probably going to have to play earlier than Jugs and Lounx.
Krebeni through the apartment, spots the head. HooXi's dead. Now they're crumbling. Astralis with just 1 player left. FOZI giving it a good go. The Tech 9 has taken away 2, but Krebeni now running him down. Time ticking, and he will find the kill. And so Mirage will finish as dominant as Ancient, and FUT are looking to eradicate Astralis and show there is absolutely no competition at this event.
It's certainly looking one-sided at the moment. We will have to see if Astralis can course correct for player. I'll start with you.
Of a tournament win. This team coming into this event, definitely a team you would have in the conversation as a dark horse, but weren't in the top predictions to be the team that would win the trophy. We thought this would fall to a more favored team, a more experienced team. PVISION. Even Astralis, we expected to be better than this.
MongolZ, maybe we would have said had a chance coming into this.
Yeah, but PVISION have obviously not stepped up, and we've seen them get smashed by FUT, and now they're looking to do the same thing to Astralis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 3rd and possibly final map of this best of 5. We've got FUT stepping out. They're going to be on the CT side. It's all eyes on Astralis to see what level they can bring. Can they get into this final at all?
Looks like they want to go straight towards the upper bomb site, or Yabi drop down the vents, maybe attack towards ramp room. This little attention towards the upper site is going to pull Krebeni's dualies close.
And he gets peeked and destroyed. He goes down. Demon going to be taking a pause for a second, letting Jukes come over and take that next contact. Demon also taking the headshot, and that takes the sting out of the attack. Astralis slow down. FOZE gets hard cleared. They just can't catch a break whatsoever, and FUT have just dragged themselves back into the pistol round and done it in a stylish fashion. It's now Yabby down and out as well. And you do have that chance now, FUT, to get a good start again and start racking up these CT rounds.
It's been 2 maps of play already, and Astralis still haven't gotten the message that FUT is going to fight you for every single inch. They're coming for you. Every time you get something, FUT is going to be right around the corner. You know, I mean, how unexpected is this? How many times do you see teams go this aggressive on a retake, especially when you lose a player? Now, because Kriveni's so pushed up and so far advanced, the rotation is able to get there in time to take that fight at that moment. You just don't see CT teams fight like that. Most teams try and rotate to get ahead of the next play.
Yeah. Well, Astralis is going to be investing into this one, so Tech9's come out at the Eagle, P250. That's all you got to work with if you're Astralis here. And you haven't been able to burst through in the first timing, but you're hoping Yabby can sneak his way out with the flashbang. It's effective to blind the Raptors player. Jugs gets it under control, though. It gets a second kill, but both openings here for Astralis. A chance to get into the site, but Symmetry goes in, peels away with an advantage, and now you have to play a post plant where the bomb isn't even planted yet, and they're always ready to fight. So FUT come in, they don't allow the bomb plant, and they will make sure that they do not get upset in the second round here.
Yeah, 3-on-1, and you know when the bomb gets tapped, you've got basically I mean, you just can move in. You just have so much freedom coming in as that guy's occupied. Another little pause. Long's having some issues.
Yeah, not happy. You just snap the headset off there. I think he's tangled up there, so he's maybe getting pulled down by the headphones.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Wires getting in the way.
Yeah, looped around the handles.
There we go. Make sure you got the right one in. You don't want to be getting steps coming to the left.
I don't know. Apparently, some players just never fix that across the entirety of their life. We've heard of some players playing with some inverted sound. It's like the craziest thing in the world. I don't even know how it works.
Your brain never registers. I mean, it's just fantastic to see FUT get into this position to start off this year. We got to see a glimpse of them at the end of 2025 when they went out to Shanghai. They knocked FaZe Clan out of that tournament and really showed that, okay, this is a team we could all get excited about. Didn't expect them to rise this quickly, though, and coming into this season, the statement performance in Krakow, the teams that they were really challenging and making themselves look like a real tough team. You know, G2 immediately coming out, Hunter saying that FUT are playing like a top 10 team right now, and they're shooting real hard. They go on to take the next step, make, again, Incluge, just nearly looking like they were going to make it through, just missing out in playoffs, but they always manage to level up, and they keep leveling up. And I loved hearing the interviews about how, you know, some players have had options to go elsewhere, but they've decided that none of those are appealing. They know they've got a great 5-man squad here, and they like what they're doing, and it's really paying off.
Oh, Coolio in an interview gave like the old classic answer where he's like, we're not really like most other teams. We're more akin to a family, which we've heard from many teams over the years. To his credit, though, it's someone who's been coaching Na'Vi. What I think he had like 2.5 years as a coach of the Na'Vi Junior, especially with a bunch of these guys. He mentioned he's been coaching Jugs since Jugs was 15 years old. So, I mean, you got to imagine the level of, I mean, you're working with someone that closely for that long and with a team that closely for that long. You get an opportunity like this finally. This is what you've been working for years. And I think this team is really kind of united and banded around that common goal, obviously, of chasing this down. And just look at how focused they've been all day today.
Average age, 19 years old of the team as well.
New age players, new gen players coming in hot. 2-0 for FUT. Astralis muster up a couple Deagles and AK-47 on Ryu.
At least trying to have something that can do some damage to this FUT economy. You know you took a number of players down in the last round, so if that AK can get something going, at least you keep them somewhat modest. Looks he gonna take damage on the cross.
Yeah, but he wants to bait some of these CTs in towards swinging wide to spam and some of these kills, try and give Ryu the opening to maybe pick someone off who's distracted. Obviously hasn't worked out nearly as clean as he would have liked. Rest of the players gonna come in front of the smoke wall. Nice shot from Ryu. Good reaction. He does get dinked up. Brought very, very low, but good advantage provided. 5-on-4.
Yeah, tosses that AK off. But are you going to expect Jukes to be in this position already? Shadow, Rio was completely tunnel visioned on the rifle. Now Krebeni's going to catch HooXi, he's going to fall. And now Krebeni can just peek up, take another, and look towards heaven and tell Lounge that, in fact, Stera is no longer in vision. So he's either committed to that heaven fight or he's down in the lockers.
He's heard him drop down off the ladder now. So, I mean, Long's just tracking by sound this whole time. Stera going to take the fight. Krebeni, lovely triple kill from the captain of FUT.
I love the way Jukes celebrates round wins even like that.
You got to. Keep the energy up. 3-0. And Astralis going to come in with their first buy of this third map. MAC-10 on HooXi. Passed over an AK-47. It was Yabi who dropped the hero AK in the previous round, so he needed one replenished to him. It's HooXi who takes the hit. Round 4 set to begin, and I mean, the first two maps, Astralis never got started until 7-8 rounds in. It can't be the case here. We've said that a lot in this series because we're still waiting for it to happen.
I mean, outside of Laux, we don't know any of the players here for FUT from CSGO days as well. It's just cool to see a completely fresh team for the CS2. And right now, playing the game as it's intended to be played, with some pace, with some aggression, and they now have to deal with some of their own because Astralis trying to charge out of the hut into the site. It's actually worked very well for Astralis to break through this upper bomb site. Plants coming in, Demon goes over the top trying to make it happen, but it will be Astralis to finally break through with a round win. Yeah,
great double kill for HooXi. This time well prepared for that retake to come in much quicker than expected previously. Last time they tried to plant the bomb, the swing came immediately on the tap. HooXi so prepared for the run out from heaven. First kill with the MAC-10, swaps out, gets a second, and FUT get knocked out with the upper play. So Astralis mix in a little pacey, aggressive round with that upper bust, and it works perfectly. Money's going to be an issue for FUT in the next round. Krebeni can drop one over, but you can see Symmetry's at 50, Laux at 450. They're going to be missing a few things. So a chance for Astralis early to break them. And as we keep mentioning, Astralis needing to get rounds on the board before round 8. This is a great chance to break the economy, start getting that breathing room, start getting to a point where you have the rounds necessary to survive and work for the second half, but then you can add a little bit more on top. And a timeout is taken. This one by FUT. First time we've seen them pressured this early on, but as I just outlined the economic situation, they want to have the talk to make sure that it doesn't come to a crashing halt here way too early on their CT side of Nuke. They've really enjoyed playing with the lead with an extreme advantage in both of these first two maps. It's let them have extreme confidence. It's let them just build into this crazy momentum that Astralis can't handle, so not wanting to disrupt that here early on Nuke going into round 5. Op will be in the hands of Symmetry. FAMAS on Jugs. Laux has a Deagle. Rifles otherwise.
The Astralis also have to establish that they can win rounds in a different fashion, right? You're not going to be able to win this game just by hitting that A-bomb site over and over.
No, but you can't break their economy by doing it.
And you do have them on the ropes economically. Let's see what they call in this round for Astralis. Going to be the outside smokes deployed straight away. Got Krebeni, who's going to be playing all the way back in Garage, so no information really being picked up in terms of how many players are going to be crossing towards Secret. That's got to be in the back of the minds here of FUT. Do you want to just call their bluff, take the gamble? No one's going to be walking down Secret to B. I think you're about to find out shortly, though. Astralis do intend to hit this A-bomb site again. What's the setup looking like here for the CT side? We got Demon up on the rafters. We got Laux on HUD. It's a strong setup and a missed piece of utility. Jukes can stay at the back of the site.
It's fine. This is all a fake. They want to show the upper exec so that they can cross without any utility, without a smoke wall. Krebeni hears these footsteps and calling it out. Stairs watching for his feet at the moment. Laux' Deagle to defend this cross on the initial play.
Now with under a minute left on the clock, Laux' Deagle is now blinded, so they get across the first point. Symmetry's missed with the AWP. And where does HooXi go now? His teammates are dying upper. Stare has died on top main. There's the bomb going to fall, and the decision to come back up to A and try and split it via the vent has been a deadly decision that falls in favor of FUT. It's FOZE and Ryu left in a 2v5, and they just can't do anything about this round.
Yeah, it does feel like a little bit of a crazy idea, but round's not done yet. Ryu and FOZE bring it right back into a 2-on-3. There's no kits if this bomb does get planted.
Yeah, Ryu now waiting at the vent. When does Demon decide to go up the ladder? Symmetry's now arriving towards Secret. great recovery to this round for Astralis. This did not look like there was going to be a shot in hell at winning this, but Ryu takes the risk to come up the vent. FOZE gets his kill out hut. Now Ryu going to be looking at heaven. You got to move on here, FUT. There's no kit available. They've only got one flashbang. Ryu with eyes at heaven. A great turnaround from Astralis, but can they convert it? Ryu sharpshooting, Lungs comes in, and then Demon with the distraction, peaks at the right time, and FUT do convert it in the end.
It's slow, so patient, no noise being made. Astralis could never locate where the retake was going to come from. I'll tell you what, I'm with you. I mean, you throw the fake towards the upper bomb site to pull people attention to the upper bomb site so that you can cross for free, but then jumping right up the vents without any real information. I mean, you see the AWP over in control side, but I'm surprised that's enough to kind of dissuade you from attacking into the lower bomb site. They only had 2 players there, so it might have just been called out of spawn and they were just so dedicated to it. But it does end up just being extremely ineffective. All right, so Hooksy's saying you can't just sit around even with the man advantage and expect it's going to win. You're going to have to go make a play. You're going to have to go find a kill at some point. Try and get the guys motivated to fight back here a little bit. He'll be pleased with this opening provided by Ryu and the space it offers there as he drops onto the mini roof.
Oh, feet spotted. FOZE's got the kill here on Demon, and so now we're at a 5v3. Hard to see how Astralis are going to lose this one now. You got information as well. You know you've got Krebeni trapped, so he can't make you a play to get you out of this situation. They're going to try and help him get out of the spot with some util, and not a bad chance there, but FOZE sends him to the sky.
Yeah, hits the ceiling. 2 on 5.
Joke's being watched as well.
Yeah, you can be as patient as you need to if you're Astralis right now. FUT obviously know that. But at some point, Jugs is going to have to make a move to go for a kill. He'll lose his life in the process. 53 seconds left on the clock, and Symmetry, I mean, I don't think they're going to be ultra motivated for any kind of a hunt, but you have a long time to try and survive, and if anyone even spots you out, if you give away your position once, it's pretty much done. Now we get to see how much they want to take the AWP away. It'd be valuable. Look at the money on the side of FUT. They will be broken after this round. If he gets to keep the AWP, it'll be the only weapon they have moving forward. I think Hooksy at least recognizes how valuable it is to make sure that AWP isn't in play moving forward, as an IGL just doesn't want to have to mess with it on the map. And he'll get away. No one checks towards CT spawn. Oh, Hooksy's coming right at the end. Here we go. Symmetry, nice shot, straight to the dome. Probably surprises Hooksy with the explosion.
Can be a little happier with that one, Hooksy.
Go, try to get a kill. Try to get a kill. Yes, yes. Careful, heaven. And opens. Nice try. Yep. It's okay, it's okay. What is not okay is that we have to push each other so much to do stuff, guys. Just fucking play the game. We are 3v2. You cannot just sit and expect to win, okay? Let's do something. Let's fucking grab the game.
All right, so he's having the same conversation that we're having on the outside as well. When is anyone going to have the attitude that they're here to win this grand final? Trying to instill that down the line, down to his players. Those inexperienced players that he's mentioned, nerves have always been an issue, and he can sense it.
Well, you've got them here on the ropes. You know, they don't have a whole lot left behind this.
And again, they're not really spotting outside.
Letting you have the space to play with, but if you keep walking down secret, Symmetry is lying await with the scope. Astralis know, okay, it's been a little bit too quiet. We haven't made contact yet. Is it going to be a fight at secret?
Astralis right now might be thinking, because of the financial situation, they know the ops in the field to play. Wonder if they expect the rest of the investment. 50 seconds. Astralis has gained so much ground outside. Haven't done anything with it yet. One smoke remaining in the hands of FOZE.
They're just waiting for a peek from FUT. They want FUT to provide the opening kill, but it's good discipline. FUT aren't doing that. They're waiting.
They're just playing contain right now. They just want to see where the scaling is.
Here's
Now's the time for information. Good kill.
And it's a great timing for the peak as well there from Krebeni. He doesn't put himself at risk, doesn't expose himself to outside. And now the patience has paid off for Symmetry as well. HooXi walks into him at 5v3. FUT with weaker weapons looking so damn strong. They crush Astralis. One kill from Astralis in that round. And that is a massive sigh of relief as well here for FUT economically. That was a great opportunity to actually get into the half. Now, HooXi having a conversation again.
I think he's having the same kind of talk that we just heard in the listening, because once again, it's like you get outside, you get 2 players in secret, they're watching for a push, you get 2 or 3 players out in big garage, which control of credit, and it just kind of pauses and settles there for like 20, 25 seconds. So when you eventually make your move, there's no one supporting Stair on his first move towards lockers. He gets killed for free.
Right.
And then you get picked off in secret. So it just feels like there's that moment where HooXi's expecting people to be doing things on their own and finding information, making some movement, passing information on to him, and it's not happening.
We've got into it. Yeah, exactly. He's like, we've got into this position in the round. Now it's on you guys to have some initiative and make a play and not be micromanaged to victory there.
By the time they do figure things out, they just don't really have time to recover the scenario. Op in the hands of FOZE again. AK and Stair, Yabi and Ryu. HooXi back down to the... Well, he had a MAC-10 for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get many chances like this in the half if you're Astralis. If you lose this one, FUT can start building money.
Last time he had the MAC-10, it was that upper bust in that very first gun round. This time not going to be the same.
Outside smoke missed too. Must have been a molly onto the roof just to make sure it couldn't bounce. It just immediately gets used up, leaves gaps outside. Astralis don't have a huge amount of utility to continuously layer outside with smoke, so it's already a tough round just from the get-go.
Symmetry waiting this whole time. Stair hasn't given him the look just yet. Flashes out. He wants to come back for the angle. Ooh, spotted the head, but I think Stair saw it as well. Doesn't want to mess with the off angle from Demon. Taken down low, drops the Molotov, bails out to the lower bomb site, so Symmetry steps up even more.
Yeah, FOZE's trying to find it, but look at this squeaky hut push. It's going to be a play forward towards HooXi. That MAC-10 will get the kill. FOZE also searching for the kill on Symmetry outside. He's collected it. So, well played from Astralis. They've got themselves into a 5v3, but let's see where they go from this point.
I think HooXi's going to be calling out caution over towards Squeak Door. He saw the one push, right? He's going to be saying, we need to clear this as we move in. Let's see how diligent Astralis is. FOZE can come down the vents to help out. Yabi very well trained in this position.
How is Lux going to get away with this? I just don't see how he gets away with it. He gets one on Yabi. HooXi had to trade it, does so. Now with 30 seconds left, you've got Jukes now arriving up the ramp. They don't know both players are there, but you can have an idea because Demon was the ramp player. Jukes is going to fly his way up heaven. FOZE's ready for that. Good punishing kills coming in from FOZE in this round.
Yeah, Demon just going to bail out with the AK-47. Been a very tough battle for FUT, actually. This is the most resistance Astralis has put up this whole time. Good kill from Demon, but not smooth enough to allow you to go for the 1v2. He just wants his teammates AWP for the next round. 35 HP. Third round for Astralis, though.
Really important that FOZE gets some impact there because I highlighted the fact that you didn't have many smokes left if you're Astralis. The wall of smokes they did throw out was the double smoke in front of main, so you would be completely exposed if you wanted to go outside. And so FOZE is the only player that can do anything once you realize it's the AWP out there. If you don't have the utility to block him off, then challenge with the sniper. FOZE has the confidence to do so and the capability of getting the kill.
I think Symmetry might have met a little bit over-eager on the AWP in this round. I think he was really frustrated he never got a clean look at Stair. He didn't see FOZE drop down off a silo onto the boxes either, so probably catching him off guard, having to encounter the AWP so soon.
Yeah, could have maintained outside control without putting himself at risk, and then he could have rotated as well. But yeah, just the little mistakes that happen when you're confident, I guess, right now with the way the final's been going.
Able to muster up a pretty decent buy, all things considered, his FUT. Symmetry with the AWP rifles around it. We're going to go fast-paced, it looks like again, although it's just early pressure for now. No commitment at the moment. But here comes the drop in mini. Is Krebeni going to be ready? One's already across the secret as well. That happened so fast. That's FOZE with an AWP who just makes the mad dash. Couple times they've been able to find the outside yard without any real presence on it. A bait and switch with the AWP deep and the M4 close.
Yeah, Symmetry hoping he can peel away with one and then set up Demon for destruction, and that is exactly what happens. Gets the dink on Ryu as well, spills the bomb to the floor. And now a recovery mission for Ryu. Stair's coming back just as Krebeni's pushing, but that's unfortunate for Stair. You know, you've got to be very sharp to win that fight, and he actually is. So aware of that possibility and handles it.
Yeah, but these are the types of situations that FUT can throw away with this sort of aggression. Overextended, another good win for Stare. Cleaned up by Lonks, at least holding on to it. And Ryu's like, I'd love to trade that, but I got no HP, but what a shot on the op. And it's all down to Lonks in the 1v2. He's got good timing, but obviously Ryu knows exactly where he is. Well, maybe not. Oh my god.
Okay, Lonks knows now he's going to start chasing after him, but has to do it so slowly, silently. But now he can run him down. Ryu's committing to the plant on his own. His teammate's not with him, but Lonks actually got baited out. Lonks is leaving him. He thinks it's the A bomb set and realizes it's not, and so back down he goes again.
Yeah, but what's FUZI doing? Why is he so far away? He's just getting into secret now. There was such a crazy opportunity for Lonks to just steal this round on his own.
Yeah, he had no idea, but...
Still got good timing, and he has a kit.
Oh my god, Ryu just peeks out, so now it's a 1v1, but there's no way Lonks thinks FUZI's not around, right? Like, he thinks he's got to be with him, and so the misplay from Astralis is actually going to save them. We've got Lonks moving up to the double doors, but the smoke's down on the defuse, and he's got an AWP. He's missed the shot. Now he knows where he is. And now the pressure's up. FUZI has to peek him. And oh my god, Astralis, that is going to be a tilter. Lonks, that round just kind of comes to him.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. I think that's a situation where you have your more inexperienced players in a clutch situation. And we've seen HooXi kind of talking to the boys. You imagine comms have been a little bit quiet. It seems like he's intimating that not as many ideas are flowing. People aren't talking as much as he'd like. I think that's another situation where you get Ryu and FUZI in this clutch.
Now what is FUZI doing?
What really is crazy is there must have been a comm that was just dead wrong.
Yeah.
Because Ryu was going up to heaven to go up the ladder into the upper bomb site and got called off it to the lower bomb site, but FUZI never moved. So I wonder, but I'll tell you this, Astralis is finding way too much success outside.
Yeah, they're getting themselves into winnable situations.
Oh!
That is a great shot from Stare. Long's going to be smashed into the ground, so Astralis a 2-man advantage to kick off round 10.
Yeah, I mean, this has been Astralis' bread and butter on this T side, is kind of fast, aggressive plays outside. They've been able to cross without smokes. They've been able to find kills. FUT's had to play a lot of rounds, 3v5, 2v5, very, very quickly.
Cemetery start to pull it back, though. Realizing he's a player down, not falling away on the first time. He needs to fall away now. They're running him down. He gets one extra kill. But it's Demon's rotation onto the B-bomb site that is a worrying factor here for Astralis. It's a strong spot. What can Demon do? 16 bullets in the M4. Misses out in the first chance. Peeks into the open, and Ryu, sharp on the headshot, needed to grab that. And a missed opportunity from Demon.
Yeah, there was a real chance there. Fast move from the with Jabby with the MAC-10. Able to just get around the cover, and then Ryu's ready for the follow-up fight. Triple kill in the round for Ryu. 11 kills leading the way for Astralis, which is really good to see from one of the young new additions to the team.
Especially with the map he's had, or the series he's had so far. You know,
yeah, Ancient was a very slow start.
So good to see him getting some impact in a couple of rounds here. 4 T rounds. It's not bad at all for Astralis.
No, they're piecing them together. It'll be interesting to see if HooXi keeps coming with these outside plays, especially very quickly, very aggressively. Look at this shot, just a swing. Beautiful from Ryu. This one is nasty. And then a great trade. Cemetery tries to stand in ground. He does a great job. He does everything he possibly can to keep them in the round, and just the missed opportunity at that lower bomb site. So the most frustration that FUT has had to deal with today as well. First 2 maps were really pain-free. Getting to play with the 7-0 leads to start both Ancient and Mirage.
Yeah, finally some resistance from their opponent. Not a great buy here for FUT. Just one rifle, well, premium rifle in play. You got Jugs on the M4, and then you got FAMAS for Krobeni, MP9, and Deagles. I feel like I say every single map I cast FUT, though, you know, when they have the Deagles, there's always a chance of winning these kind of rounds. So
well, they've already won 1 low buy in this half.
Could be another one.
This one's got the M4, the FAMAS, and the MP9 mixed in. Astralis is coming at this upper bomb site. 4 players in lobby. Utility from the roof. HooXi forcing the defense back just in case they're in hut. Now going to start executing with utility.
Yeah, flashes go up. Here comes HooXi flying in with a MAC-10. Good clearance, gets to the dink, but not the second kill. FOZE though will from Hut. There's the push out. Can't punish the second player. Ryu round the side of the smokes. Low HP finished off, but it's all about the secret play here of Symmetry hiding inside of the smoke as his teammates get ever closer. Can Symmetry really pull this off? No, he whiffs a couple. Then the AK comes out. He does finish off the kill, but Demon's got one, and now it's Yappy, but he's taken out as well. And another FUT round done on the weaker weapons.
Man, how many back-breaking rounds can Astralis take? That's brutal. Hiding inside the smoke, the bait and switch never cleared out the bomb site, and the chaos of an upper hit, FUT come out on top yet again. You cannot buy any kind of momentum if you're Astralis right now.
First couple of shots missed. You think Symmetry might just get spot on, missing the chance, but then Symmetry's AK that he picks up off the ground results in the final kill. Yabi upset, obviously, and as Astralis, another missed opportunity, another low buy wing going against them. Last round of the half, Astralis come into it with Galil's on 3, Tech9, a single AK-47. FUT returns to a strong purchase to try and round out 8 rounds on this CT side.
This has been crazy. It's been back and forth since round 4. Neither team has won 2 in a row. Absolutely mental the way they've been brawling back and forth. Good kill from Stare. 5-on-4 provided.
Demon has been good on ramp. He's starting to back away just as the utility comes in. Dodges the flash, gets into the corner, gets back to the kill. He's blinded. He's being hunted down, and Demon tries to delay, but eventually gets traded out by FOZE.
Delays him long enough, though, to get Lonks in position. He needs to clear out towards Secret. He's going to check it. Stare's watching, and oh, that one's easy. Lonks never really convinced that he had to check the corner. So Lonks gets away, or Stare gets away with one. Jugs arrives.
Look how quick they are. On just opening up the doors, just fighting. Straight away, confident to peek. There's a dink on Yabi as well. It's getting a little bit messy now, but a 2v3. Symmetry coming close. AWP against 2. Close quarters did land that shot. They're both now really low. This Deagle could take them. Oh, the FAMAS!
No way.
The kills. How are they doing this? Round after round, FUT are finding the way, and it's got to be stabbed, and Symmetry drops him as well. You cannot catch a break if you're Astralis, and right at the end of the half, FUT get another 2 rounds in a row and put an end to the back and forth.
You can't make this up. How do you win this round? Astralis is in such good positions. This has got to be... This is so crazy. Astralis, they got to have someone in the org just making notes and just say, let's just review all these rounds. We got the major coming up. We got a few more events coming up. We need to clean a lot of this stuff up. But FUT has been able to get every single retake, and Hooksy can only smile. He can only just like kind of like laugh in exasperation. What are you supposed to do?
Gotta say, you know, Symmetry is a player that sometimes gets criticism. We're highlighting how his performance can be a little quiet at other events. He's having a great tournament here. And then in this final, the amount of impact moments you've got out of Symmetry on the Deagle. In the previous round, he gets the Deagle kill into the AK finish. This round, he's like moving in with his team.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
I mean, we've mentioned a couple times we've seen him play, like, you know, outside of, you know, whatever kind of analysis you want to put on decision making, he's fast. He's got a fast shot. The idea he hits Hooksy there is wild. And even the patience, and this is the thing, you don't normally see this out of the inexperienced players, the patience to just wait and say, I'm going to let my teammate show up. You know, there's another world where he just takes the Deagle, goes for a swing, tries to get both kills, but he's like, you guys are expecting me to turn this corner. Those doors are about to open up, and that FAMAS is about to bail me out of a tough place. Miraculous retake, an 8-4 lead. FUT just 5 rounds away from their first ever trophy at the professional level here at PGL Bucharest 2026.
Yabi waiting at ramp. He's going to get some contact coming his way. Symmetry given the responsibility to be solo outside with a P250. Just duel. See how many you can get. It's a clean one on FOZE. Can't do much about that. Now Yabi starting to take a few backtracks. Hooksy's been taken out as well. Sarah at least getting one, but with Yabi falling, it feels like this pistol's already done.
I'm with Hooksy. All I can do is laugh at this point. This is just crazy the way that they're dominating every single round, every single step.
They are shooting so hard right now. Astralis just can't match the firepower whatsoever. They're into the site. FUT still looking for fights. That bomb isn't even being planted yet. Eventually, Lounks will take himself out of commission to put it down, but the round is already won by the time that bomb even gets planted. So with a pistol round loss, a 9-4 lead, FUT are just charging towards the trophy.
That is the 5th of 6 pistol rounds won by FUT. We've mentioned so frequently how good they have been at getting good starts in these halves, and it's just all starting with these pistols. Astralis just have been not able to put up a fight in that regard. And huge economic advantage on top of the advantage of the scoreboard. Mentioned at the start of this map, the HLTV guys, Striker, I asked him for it. I think I said I looked it up earlier. It was Striker. I don't want to take credit for it. Looking up the lowest number of rounds an opponent has gotten, trying to find the quickest best of 5 we've ever seen played at this level. It was Pro League Season 21. Mal's putting 18 rounds on against Vitality in a best of 5 loss. What's Astralis is at 14 right now in this best of 5.
They've actually gone for the investment, Jason. They've thrown everything into this Astralis.
I think you have to, if for no other reason. Even if it's not like the best in terms of like mid-maxing your odds, you just need to get some energy.
Oh, they're trying to get down the vents, and they managed to get there. They do lose a player though in teaming.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, FOZE's already rotated here. Started the round on the B-bomb site in dark. The plant, unfortunately, is not going to be in the open. Laux though, oh, will he be able to recover? Yes, he will. So even though FOZE has a chance at that, Laux has enough time to get the AK out and drop FOZE.
Staying tucked in the corner. Jugs' spot has been known as well, but it's not going to matter. Ryu can't even react in time. Disgusting. Flashbang is going to come out, give some attention away. Symmetry spotted it, and he just says, you know, you can, yeah, move out of the door. I don't want to fight this. I want to get the hell out of there. Smoke towards control side and checkmate. 10th round for FUT.
Benny, I was waiting for the knife to come out there.
He was waiting for a second kill. Oh, man, they're just running over Astralis right now. Bomb goes off.
Well, that's your force bite. Didn't do much. FUT now at double figures on the T side.
That's even, I mean, you know, the weaker weapons, that was a 5-on-4 at one point for Astralis. They picked Demonov jumping into the vents. Kind of negated by the positioning when FUT gets downstairs, and then obviously FOZE goes down to equalize things, but always going to be hard retaking against stronger weapons in that lower bomb site. 10-4. An incredible showing for FUT, one of the most exciting teams we've had in this first season of 2026. This is a matchup that we would said coming into this, the most exciting rivalry we've had to start in this first season.
Oh yeah, we've seen this so many times. It's been so back and forth.
You remember FOZE as well, where as soon as they won the semifinals, he was just like, I know who we're going to face in the finals. It's going to be FUT. We're just always fated to play against them.
Yeah, they played Pro League in the 3rd, 4th place decider. Charles got the win, and now we're moving into the grand final of PGL Bucharest, and it's not even really a competition. 13-5, 13-5, currently 10-4 for FUT. Opening kills fall in favor of the T's. FOZE and HooXi both gone 5v3 with a minute left.
Yeah, Jugs now at this point in the round with his 1 kill, looking for a little bit more, but also going to prioritize keeping that AK-47 in his hands. He's the lone man away from the action, so going to tuck himself safely back towards T-spawn. I really like that. Don't give them any toys, any tools necessary to come back in this. Good kill on a stair. Oh, FUT, you don't have to commit to this just yet. That's quick kills coming out for Astralis, and all of a sudden they're the ones to reverse the fortunes. Okay, low buy goes the way of the CT side. Don't do it to him, Jugs. 27 seconds.
Yeah, you can't let that one go, Astralis. I'm surprised FUT let it go, to be honest.
I'm surprised when they encountered resistance at that door, when the MP9 made it in towards the control windows, that they still wanted to try and force their way out. Caught in an unexpected situation. Well done from Stair as Krebeni just chucked out the utility, never knew the position of Ryu. And Astralis in the right place at the right time, but that's just the first step of many they'll have to take. AWP is out in the hands of FOZE. For FUT, the economy has dwindled and mostly disappeared. 3 rifles and 2 pistols. They're coming right back to the A bomb site. They're doing it with pace and aggression.
Getting 1 player down the vent.
Oh my god, they paused and they've done this quietly.
Ooh.
That's the bomb though.
Yeah, that slows things down a little bit. Still spamming. And then another kill as well. So Step really helping out Astralis here. You know, you get 1 player down vent early, undetected. start thinking Jukes can make a play if his teammates are still up. He still can.
Ryu didn't hear that.
Oh no, Ryu. Good night. Oh, timing. That's kind of crazy. He gets away with that. Long's eventually trading him out. FOZY's coming back over to try and deal with the ramp threat. Can't afford to go down here. And so even though he misses the shot, he'll stay alive and back away.
Yeah, different round if they get Ryu for free from the lower bomb site, because then they just drop back in. They've got a good foundation to settle into the B bomb site. But instead, Yabi's rotated down there, and FOZY's off. Ooh, another missed shot. Lounx is going to head up the ladder. Economic damage would be great, and he's got another kill. Oh, this is winnable. 40 seconds on the clock. Does he try and rush the plant, or does he play a little bit longer?
I mean, stare from heaven. Surely this is the move that wins him it.
I don't know, dude. This is nasty.
It's a good spot from Lounx.
Because Stare's going to be so curious.
How far is Stare? Oh my god, he's right above him. He is right above him.
I think Lounx will see this eventually.
He turned towards heaven. Oh, now he's dead.
Oh.
Okay. That could have got real weird.
Yeah, hard to imagine he's going to be right above you. Just the walkout. Nice idea from Lounx, not able to find the timing. 10-6. And FUT's going to have to sit back onto just pistols. Lovely work from Stare. So solid for the Astralis organization since he joins. He was a player earlier in the group stage through some of their struggles, who was providing them some necessary impact as well to get through some of their games, some of their matches heading into these grand finals across the playoffs. FUZY out in the open. Don't go down here, and you will to Glocks.
Well, an opening kill for FUT is nice, but not going to surely see this go anywhere else. Stare being overwhelmed. No problem. Holds down mouse one, gets 4 kills as all the FUT players evaporate in front of him. Okay, so a little bit of breathing room here for Astralis. They've given themselves a couple of rounds to work with.
3 in a row for Astralis. You're exactly right. Money's built up as well. They've got a buffer. This is like the best and most comfortable position they've been in this series.
Yep.
Where you can finally say, all right, we can absorb a loss and still have a bye and still contest and move forward into this. And you're on a bit of a streak, and FUT is only at 10 rounds. So you've still got a chance to close this gap. You've still got a chance to snatch this win away.
And conversation, if you can make it difficult, if you can make FUT start to sweat, and they're right on the verge of closing out on a championship win, how do FUT handle that?
Well, it's the other conversation that we would have, right? I mean, we kind of got some answers of FUT back in Stockholm when they handled the pressure on the playoffs against MongolZ, but you're still always going to be curious, especially when it's now a grand final rather than a quarterfinal like that game was, where you say, is the pressure going to come back now? Are you guys going to feel it? But Astralis hasn't applied any to them throughout this series, so it hasn't really mattered.
We heard Dust highlighting as well. It's the best environment for them to do it here in the studio. FOZY, though, has taken himself the opening frag. Demon to respond at range against the AWP. Confident, doesn't shy away from the fight, even though he knows he's going up against the AWP. And that kill will come through and free up Lounx.
Yeah, he's sliding into the gap, isn't he? They need to stay alive. Jugs needs this kill on the aggression, and he's got it. Okay, that's going to take more attention away from Lounx's position. I think he can go up heaven now, and the idea's got to be come back to the upper bomb site at some point, but there's a lobby crunch.
Yeah, good movement here from Astralis. The 2 experienced players, and Yabi and Hoaxy taking up the next important steps of this round. How far does Yabi go? If he walks from this corner, Cemetery ready for him, but he just moved, made it awkward. Jukes to respond immediately, though.
Yeah, look at Demon playing away. He's looking for the reaction. Now, you don't need to commit to this super hard. Stare playing over in control side. You still have Demon outside on the mini roof. Molotov into the position. Stare's going to have to make a play. Gives up his location.
Yeah, Stare has been the shining light for Astralis, though. 20 kills. Double door swung open, not giving the fight, but denying the bomb plant, slowing things down, allowing time for Hoaxy to rotate in, but Stare's died. It's a 1v3 for Hoaxy. They know where he is. He's going to use up the utility. But there's just no way, surely, Hoaxy can pull off this clutch. But he stepped out. He's taking the first. But Jukes waits on default. Hoaxy has that position. He knows he's there. He knows he can't go anywhere. but it's the problem of crossing the control room window. He has to get this kill instantly, and he got it. He tries to get back for that 1v1. HooXi gives it a good go. It's a nice try, but it's not enough.
A valiant effort out of HooXi. That's a lovely first shot. It had to be that clean and that quick if he was going to have any chance, but what a hard spin to make. Great setup from FUT. Great composure inside the bomb site. Especially when you can see that plant is harassed. They know a player's control side. The AK gives up the position. They're feeling uncomfortable out in the open, but Jugs just stands his ground. 21 kills here on this third and deciding map.
Jugs been able to make a quick reaction, realizing Yabby's pushed in there, getting that instant trade. Massive round from Jugs at this point in the game, and Astralis taking their final timeout here.
Man, FUT's had, in contrast to Astralis, FUT's had everyone show up. On the opening map, Symmetry, Demon, Lounx were just beast moding with 16 kills apiece. Mirage, it was Lounx with 20, Krebeni with 16. Now you've got Jugs giving you 21 kills.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely crazy.
This feels like the last legs that Astralis have to stand on. You talked about having one extra buy you can get out. This is it. This is the buy. This is, you get the op out for FOZE,
And it's an
lose
uppercut.
this, and you're done.
Okay, they're gonna stutter step it. It felt like the idea was there to hit that upper bomb site very quickly. I think maybe the utility on this side gave the indication that Astralis would be ready for it. 2 MAC-10s. And FUT's gonna readjust outside. FOZE's up to contend with. Stair playing close towards Mini. They'll both be blocked off, lines of sight taken away by the smoke wall. I laugh if they turn into Mini.
They're walking towards Stair. They're wrapping him as well. Stair gets traded through that smoke. The reaction from Astralis, send players towards lobby.
Jugs is really committed to this. Okay, this is a better angle.
Much better. How many can Jugs get? 4 in the last round. Walking towards him. Ryu and HooXi going for the clearance. They nearly line up.
Yeah,
But it's the 1-for-1.
Great duck, but now Krebeni's about to clear this upper bomb site. He's going to hear some footsteps over towards ramp room as well, so he'll stick up in heaven. How do you get back into this site? You know they're over in lobby. Symmetry clears it cautiously, makes the run. You can plant the bomb now. And Krebeni just has such an advantage. Although he's giving it away.
Dude,
okay, everyone calm
relax. All right, how many times in Mirage?
Oh, okay, what are we doing?
Krebeni, you're losing focus. Giving away a really important position and kill.
Trying to find info for his team, I think. Just overextending a bit too much. This is a very tough spot for Demon to be in.
It is, but Demon's aim can bail him out of situations, especially with Symmetry taking some attention away. Demon surely gets hard cleared here. Looks away from the flashes. They move in. Symmetry's got that kill. They get the trade on Demon. Symmetry alone. Defuse being stuck, and Astralis just go in and steal it. Defusal stuck in the midst of it all, and FOZE landing the no-scope at the end.
Yeah, I don't think he ever actually heard the defuse click in. There was some gunfights going on when it actually started, so he might have just never realized that the defuse was happening. A tough situation to be in once Krebeni goes down, but that felt like that round was locked up. So there is that little bit of inexperience, over-eager factor. Perhaps FUT, now that they're right at the edge of victory, 2 rounds away from lifting the trophy here in Bucharest. And they crack in the post plant. A chance for Astralis, slim.
You see smiles on the faces of the Astralis players too, a sense of nothing to lose at this point. It feels like you're already as low as you're going to go in this final and start pulling these rounds back. I mean, see how much Astralis can do on Nuke. It doesn't feel like it's over. In fact, it might just be beginning. FOZE's got a kill outside on Lounx. He'll go again. They're letting him warm up now with his AWP. Down to 3 players.
That's the other thing, is like for most of this series, you've just had Astralis beat just by default, just by the way you're playing and the way that they weren't able to step up. Now you start giving them a little bit of belief, a little bit of hope. You give them some things to latch onto. You give HooXi some things to tell his team that we're doing well. FOZE starts hitting shots, and everyone's going to start feeling more comfortable when the Opera is becoming more and more online. Stair's got 22 kills that he's delivered for you as well. Astralis is starting to wake up into this series. They're just desperately trying to survive long enough to get through this map.
Good shot from Krebeni's D. try and make it as expensive as possible here as well. Not a lot of money left over for Astralis.
Yeah, they got 4 kills in the previous round, right? Even in the loss. So, okay, there's the opportunity with the Deagle. Tough shot to hit, and Kerbeni goes down last. 4 players survive, so that economic damage doesn't come through in any significant way. Astralis now just 2 rounds back. The closest we've been at this stage. Actually, the first time we've been at this stage, I should say. You mentioned as well, what, 12 maps played? Only 3 of them went longer than 23 rounds?
Yes. So around 21 now. Getting there, Jason.
Almost there.
Might have to add a 4th to the pile. FUT are hoping that's not the case. Coolio getting on the mic. This is the final timeout from FUT. It's the final timeout in regulation.
Well, we've talked enough about the pressure angle. One of the other angles we had, mentioning that this is the first grand final of this stature that FUT has been part of, the first time they've played in a best-of-5. The other question was, do you have it in you? Do you have the energy to last through a best-of-5? Do you have the map pool to last through a best-of-5? The mental strength to last through a best-of-5?
I mean, at least the first 2 maps are extremely quick. It felt like 1 map of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, again, not tested. And wins like that are going to make you just feel more energized. You know, it's really deflating, taking a loss when you've had all the leads in the world. And then will you be able to recover?
Look at smokes.
Look at the way, too, things will eventually slow down if the other team starts waking up, when you have to start respecting FOZE's op outside when he gets a triple kill.
Laux down to 40 HP. Nades outside from Astralis. Will it deter Laux at all? Here's the reload. That's the sign. Goes in, inaccurate. And then the rest of the pushes get destroyed. And that was after their last timeout. Remember, they're getting absolutely wrecked now. Astralis up to 10. And is this collapse for a FUT on Nuke?
It's very, very possible. I mean, that's you're trying to have a really cheesy round there where everyone's kind of coming through the smoke, trying to collapse on the point from 2 different directions. Astralis just holding behind the smokes. Again, they've played this team 12 maps, 14 maps if you include the 2 today to start the grand final. They know intimately the way that FUT like to approach situations and what to expect on the other side. Haven't been able to contain it for the first 2 maps and most of this one. But finally, they're able to temper the aggression from FUT. And for the first time, Astralis look a little bit comfortable.
Let's think about the money situation here for FUT. They don't get any kills in this round. Don't get a bomb plant.
They have a 3-round losing bonus at the moment, so they'll get 2,900. Sitting just over, right around 3,000 on pretty much everyone. A few players just over it. You have this AK-47 saved on Demon. He'll get no bonus money.
And just the amount of money Astralis have now left over, even if you are to get to 12 rounds here FUT at some point, but you take some damage in those rounds, you get it down to a 1v1, Astralis might actually even come out with a better purchase still than you. So a lot of chances all of a sudden for Astralis to force this one to another map.
Yeah, FUT have really let Astralis back into this 3rd map. And you hope they aren't dwelling on it. Especially someone like Kerbeni, who had that play up in heaven. He's going to know very much as soon as he goes down there. He's just wondering why he was trying to be so active, why he was trying to make such a play.
I mean, this has been a team that do dwell on those moments and let those moments really affect him. We've seen it already this year. There's been a number of rounds. We mentioned the one in Krakow most famously, where they looked like they were about to have a miraculous run into the playoffs of a championship-level event. Lost the full USPs against G2 and never recovered from that moment.
It's getting more difficult now. Oh, you're burning.
Running out.
What?
He actually got a kill.
He actually got a kill. I'm so mad if I'm Yabby.
Yeah, but how did that even happen?
Okay, down the vents. Did he make it, Jugs? Yes, he did.
I like the decision. They haven't fully thrown all the money into this. You know, you still be deadly in this.
Bomb is on the other side of Silo. So Kerbeni wanted the AK-47. He's going to make footsteps. He's got to go back to get it. Jugs holding down ladder. So I guess at the moment it's up to Kerbeni to figure out what the finishing move is. At this point, too, Astralis has pushed into and taken over lobby. There's a lot of time these guys have to hold on to this lower bomb site until Kerbeni arrives. And there's a lot of real estate Kerbeni has to cross with no support, no utility.
And we talk about Kerbeni being one of the stars of the show, one of the playmakers having a really tough map here in 16.
Wait, Astralis don't realize they're downstairs at all.
It would be a great time for him to step up, but Astralis now, are they going to realize? Jukes is pushed up here with the Tech 9. He's close. FOZE's got utility out. Comes down to which side Jukes decides to go. Kerbeni stepping out into the open. The bomb has made it into the site. Not like this, Astralis. Don't concede. Grand final point to this kind of buy. They have to retake the lower site. And they go past the Tech 9. Krebeni's AK enters the feed. It's another one for Krebeni, and it's all on HooXi. 1v2, disastrous moment from Astralis, as it looked like they were coming back into the game, but it might just fall away from them here and now. FUT on a low buy again.
It's the third time. The third low by Astralis have lost 2 in the first half, but none more devastating than this. They had the chance to get back into this game. They finally got a little bit of swagger going their way. They'd limited FUT, they'd put them on the back foot, excuse me, and actually started clawing themselves into this third map. And now all of a sudden, heart ripped out.
All good, guys. Let's do the headshots now and we full fuck them. No worries. Let's go. Come on.
They listened.
That's a great call. That's the favorite FUT strategy right there.
I like that, and they listened. And let's see if it works out for the finish.
It's just that simple sometimes.
That's the faith this team have in each other. They've stuck together. They've kept this 5. Lux has joined the squad, and they've taken some unbelievable steps to kick off this year. Aggression outside, here from Ster. Will they check him? They have a look, but not really prioritizing that. Krebeni gets the trade.
Yeah, really well done. FOZI's already fallen all the way off. Krebeni's going to walk across, no one peering over the top of the smokes. Mini just re-smoked right now. Krebeni's going to make his way in towards Secret, but he's the only one. Demon drops off the roof. Yabi hears that sound cue.
FOZI making a move in towards Hut. He's not alone. He's got HooXi with him.
Yeah, no one's gone downstairs yet. This is a lobby crunch they're executing. Ryu's pushing up ramp as well.
Timing. They meet each other at the same time, but HooXi wins the engagement. Second player just runs on in. Symmetry with confidence. FOZI's hanging around, but he hasn't really found the comfortable spot to make it happen. He's waiting on his teammate to come back in, but Demon's dealt with him. Symmetry to force FOZI away and put Yabi in the 1v2 to keep Astralis alive. He steps forward and takes down Symmetry. That's the bomb, and it's Krebeni, the leader of FUT, who has stepped up and delivered them so many important rounds at this competition.
What do you do with only 20 seconds on the clock? This smoke just went down.
You fight him. You get into the smoke and you fight it, but Yabi reacts, he turns, and he keeps Astralis alive.
Man, a bold play from Astralis. Crunching lobby and not even worrying about that lower bomb site. Intense trading back and forth. And FUT's going to have a scrappy buy to come in with. AK-47, Galil, Tech 9 on Jugs. One chance FUT here in regulation on Nuke to take the trophy. It's right there for them.
Big clutch that from Yabi. Your experienced player able to step up and deliver you a moment when you need it. Is it going to be enough to force out overtime? Symmetry plays with the Deeg. 3 AK-47s, a Tech 9 for Jugs. These weaker weapons have not mattered for FUT. They've been able to win a number of these.
FOZI's been great at getting this opening kill outside. He's going to get another one here. Krebeni just walks right into his crosshair.
Another one from Ster. Demon to respawn. It's going to be a 3v4 here from FUT if they want to close it now in regulation.
FOZI's op has been so good outside, though. He's been able to shave one off. They're having to pay the FOZI tax right now, and he's got another one.
That's going to cripple them. They just can't do anything about it. HooXi's waiting for the push in towards the upper bomb site. It falls to Symmetry. A 1v4. Astralis have stayed in it. They've stayed alive and forced this one into overtime.
Incredible resilience from Astralis after the way the first 2 maps played out. They snapped into shape here on Nuke. Finally, something positive to discuss within the Astralis camp. Forcing overtime, a gritty, gutsy comeback, powered by Ster with 26 kills. The 4th time they go past 23 rounds in a map, and we go to OT with the grand finals on the line.
The only time they played overtime, Astralis got the win. Managed to pick it up 16-12. Went into OT and FUT didn't win a single round. It was an overpass.
Well, let's see if this is a little bit different, because I mean, you can feel it's palpable the way that this has shifted, the way that all of a sudden it's FUT who are struggling to find answers, struggling to find ways to break in. FOZI has really started heating up with the AWP. That's been a huge recipe. Ster already, obviously, we could talk about his impact. But Astralis is looking much more comfortable at handling what FUT's bringing to the table. Part of it is they broke that economy and regulation a couple of times, so then they built up some utility, and FUT had to slow things down, which is playing more into Astralis' wheelhouse.
Each team now have a timeout available again as we've gone into overtime. We got Cemetery boosted up in the box, looking over the top of the smokes outside.
Switch up, though, for Astralis' defense. FOZE starts with the AWP over in ramp room. Haven't seen that yet.
I mean, it's got to feel good, at least for FUT. You've got the AWP to challenge FOZE. But yeah, not outside, not here right now. Cemetery has spotted the arm of his target, and he will get his kill. Ryu stepping a little too far in the open. He's going to get punished for that. Down the vent, the rotation. They're ready for Jukes to be inside a vent.
I don't think they ever had any idea he was there. So clearly, they're just completely flabbergasted about his position. FOZE's rotated down, though, with the AWP, so that lower bomb site isn't wide open. And FUT, they're just pausing and waiting. A minute on the clock for them to work the map. Krebeni's getting tons of intel. He's on his information play. Telling the team to freeze. Watch your flanks, watch your back, make sure they don't push you.
Oh, Krebeni.
And they'll never expect this, Astralis.
This could be crushing. He's taking the right angle.
FOZE can still save the day, though, after this kill.
Well, he's got to really step up. I mean, they're considering his position because utility's coming towards him.
Oh, my God.
Yep, they completely hard clear him with utility, and then bullets. Demon breaks him, and they're into the lower site. Now 4v1. HooXi obviously walking his way down secret, but it's to his death. Cemetery's there, ready to take him away, and he will do exactly that. So, smiles back in the faces of the FUT players. They finally get a good buyout again as we head into overtime. Money, no issue, and they really make it work.
Yeah, standing up to the task, FUT, where they struggled so much to get those rounds. They only had one chance to close it out once they got to 12, but struggling towards the end of that T side to put rounds on the board and snap back into shape as soon as OT begins. Lovely round from Krebeni in the mid-round to flank ramp room. Bypassing HooXi's presence outside, 13-12. And the implications of losing this one for the CT side, look at the money over for Astralis. Even in OT with all the cash, this would be devastating.
Well, HooXi playing elevated on the site. Spraying away, getting the one. The trade comes in. Yabi, important to make sure he gets that extra kill. We've got Ryu running in from heaven. A kill right back through the smoke, though. Louch doubles up.
Bombs drop downstairs. Bombs drop downstairs. This is a huge fake being made right now.
Let's see, though. Stare is still here, so he'll take that kill away and put Krebeni into a 1v2. It's going to be real tough for Krebeni to win. Nade lands towards him, and that slows him. It keeps him focused on the player in the vent, and so frees up the flank from ramp.
Yeah, that's a nice rotation from FOZE. I don't know if he got a glimpse of him going in towards the door, maybe right at the tail end, but got a clean look as he tries to cross over for the fight.
Good hold again from HooXi and Yabi.
Yeah, I mean, everyone just getting enough, right? Everyone getting their one. It's a team ace for Astralis. All 5 players get 1 kill. Ryu even kind of swinging out for 1 to put it into the 2-on-2 after that trade. But really nicely done on the initial contact, on the initial move forward out of HUT and out of Squeak Door from the Astralis defense. A grimy battle. I thought the drop-down vents might just do it, but Lonks had to reload the weapon, was trying to get away. He couldn't hold back any kind of a push. Final round of this half of overtime.
Do they come at it again? HooXi, they Molotov the top up, but he's been able to find a spot that is no issue. HooXi getting 1 on the descent down as well. HooXi with a triple kill. What? HooXi's just got a 4K. Make it all 5. That is an incredible moment from HooXi. You do not see that every day. But we go into overtime, and it's the in-game leader stepping up with a massive hold.
Sometimes you just got to do it yourself. He's been asking for that all day long. Individual heroics on top of the HUT. Back-to-back upper bus. And HooXi shuts you down so emphatically.
Yeah, just hook, line, and sinker coming in towards the site there. Beautiful work from the Danish IGL. And that might just be enough to give Astralis enough energy to squeeze out an extra map in this grand final.
Yeah, that's a big momentum swing in that direction. Let's see if FUT's lockdown defense can snap into place. They got to be so devastated. They've let Astralis back into this map. They've let them come back and force OT. Now you're playing at a disadvantage as Krebeni falls.
Outside smokes deployed immediately for Astralis, but no one is going to work with him. It's all going to be at the upper bomb site currently.
2 defenders here, and actually Symmetry is going to be here with the op pretty quickly as well. He's playing up in heaven at the moment, looking outside, but he'll be at the upper site very, very fast, especially now this utility is coming out.
Flashes completely blinding Jugs. Hooksy's also blind, but it's Hooksy moving out with Ryu. They've got the kill, launch up the vent, stopped by Yabby, and Astralis about to grab map point on Nuke.
Yeah, for the first time in this series, Astralis is controlling the tempo. They're controlling the pace. They're controlling the map tactically. You could see a little bit of nerves when that kill comes out. They held their ground for a moment, but just before the hit happens, the Opper, Symmetry, he commits himself deeper outside. Lounx drops down the vents to go try and control Secret, and all of a sudden, Jugs is left alone in the upper bomb site. Perfect timing to hit for Astralis. It's FUT who are struggling to get a grip on what's happening. And we'll see if they can make a comeback of their own. They're down 13 to 15, 2 rounds behind.
Chasing after Symmetry as well. Throwing everything at this. He will hold on to it. But FUT, they are collapsing here. As soon as they see the finish line, they're right there. They just couldn't take the next step.
Yeah, they had the opportunities. They had plenty of opportunities to get an advantage and take control of this, but Hooksy's part of the reason why they just got shut down.
I'm fucking spinning around like a Beyblade, dude. Alright.
That's a description.
Come on, if you're, Hooksy's got an ace, guys, hype him up. 2 rounds left in overtime here. Will it be disaster for FUT and another map in this grand final? Looking likely.
Well, remember, in regulation, Astralis found plenty of room and plenty of success outside and yard. You saw FOZE just test it again there. He's starting to feel confident in his AWP. 18 kills, 18 deaths for FOZE on the map, but beautiful amount of opening frags. And Hooksy's just on fire.
He didn't expect Hooksy to be the impact player here in overtime, but certainly is. Opening kill, Astralis stepping forward. Down to 4 players here for FUT.
Hooksy controls ramp room, but it doesn't look like he wants to call the team over for the moment. It's going to back all the way out, head over towards lobby. Jugs again alone in the upper bomb site. Symmetry just goes up in heaven. Utility last time here was great, but this time they don't chuck it out early enough.
Oh, Jukes and Symmetry, they pulled it right back, and look at this push! Krabeni with the triple towards the lobby. It happens in just a blink of an eye.
Yeah, the IGL's going blow for blow on some big plays here in overtime. Lovely to see. Good job from Krabeni with the aggression.
Yeah, you love that from the Crab Man. Brilliant stuff. All right, are we going to get another overtime?
Yeah, we might just. Astralis called their timeout here in OT. Talk things over, their final chance. And Hooksy gets an opportunity to call them into a potential map 3 victory to bring us on to the next map in these grand finals if they can get there. That would be Dust 2. Astralis, their first chance to win any of the maps we've played in the grand finals.
I mean, this would be just another feather in the cap, though, of FUT. If they were able to somehow withstand and get this one into another overtime and then close the championship like that, you'd have very few questions left about their mental fortitude. Let's see if they've got it in them. Start crossing outside with that first smoke. He's at red already, moving forward. He's not alone. The bomb is making its way there too. Krabeni spamming down, but Ryu is the man to find him off the top of main.
And now they've got a guy in vents who can actually cut off the rotation. Lounx wants the equalizer. Oh, can't get it. Ryu, what a shot.
Yeah, needed that. Surely that's it now. Astralis going to be stepping into the next map of play. Dust 2. It did not look like it was going to be a requirement by any means. Not whatsoever with how dominant the first 2 maps were. It looked like FUT had this all, but this round's not over just yet.
Not yet, but however, with Jugs here as well and very committed, nobody's really hustling to get back up to the other side of the map despite this quiet. Now, thankfully for them, Astralis is being slow because they don't know the position, the location of the second player, so they got to be careful everywhere they go. However, if FUT stay parked here, it's not going to be a victory. It's not even going to be close to a win. Astralis stepping in towards main right now. And this looks done. It looks like Dust 2 on the cards. This bomb gets planted. How are you supposed to retake this as Demon and Jugs? 2 versus 4. We've seen some incredible, miraculous, heroic retakes out of them previously, but I think this one's too far out of reach.
Demon and Jugs now arrived at the top of the vent. They're up the ladder. They've got a lot of util.
You're going to have to burn out this position if you're going to win this. You got to have this kill clean.
Yeah, you can't just think you're going to move contact into the site. They do burn it out, but a little bit too late. It's Jugs on his own. He will be taken down, and it looked like we didn't have a chance in hell of seeing Dust 2, but somehow it is Astralis getting it done, finding themselves just in the nick of time, and this final is still on.
So FUT had championship point there, but not able to close it out. And this is what we were talking about on the panel before we went there, right? What happens when you're left stewing in your juices?
Yeah, and this is something where this is an allegation they've been trying to beat for quite a while, Dust.
5 victories for FUT. Nuke as the third map felt like it was going to fall in their favor and the finals would be done nice and quick. Astralis had other ideas. Powered by 31 kills out of Stare, a timely ace out of HooXi, they brought it to overtime and force a 4th map. And now for the first time in these grand finals, we get to ask the question, does FUT have what it takes to go this deep into a best of 5 and still come out on top?
I mean, fortunately, it is Dust 2 coming up next. I mean, 2 maps, they're still going to be very capable of playing, even if it does go to overpass. So I feel like for Astralis, though, I thought there was no world in which we'd end up on a 4th map. It did not look like FUT were going to let that one go. They get to map point, they get to tournament point, they let it slide, and Astralis step up in overtime.
They were sleeping for about 2.5 maps in this grand final, and FUT really let them off the hook on Nuke. A couple of really, really rough mistakes that forced them to fall flat, forced them to fail to close things out in regulation. And Astralis have the tenacity and the grit to bring it all the way back into a victory. So now we've got to play another one. Pistol round is live. 2 flashes on HooXi, smoke on Ryu. No kits for the CT side. 3 flashes and a second smoke available to FUT for the rest of this round. It looks like they want to split the A bomb site. Symmetry will lurk with this P250. He'll play very, very late. And his teammates coming up, Cat, got to have success if they commit to this. Last pistol round on Dust 2 these 2 teams played. It was a very fast long rush. So Astralis set up for that, but it's Cat that is the problem.
Yeah, Symmetry takes a while, eventually gets that headshot off. Demon also entering that kill feed. I think for FUT, at least they had that long break in between, right? The extended break between the 3rd and 4th map allowed them that reset and recharge after, well, it's likely to be incredibly frustrating moments there over on Nuke. And just coming to the pistol round and dominate like this, it's got to feel good if you're FUT.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Symmetry was the one to kind of swing and make contact out towards long, happening at the same exact time. So maybe flooding the comms of the defense was the idea.
I mean, we heard Dust talking about Symmetry as well, you know, making a case for himself to be the MVP of the competition. On this very map, you know, against Malice, he was the essential piece of coming back into that game when they started so slow on Dust 2. Symmetry's impact on the CT side with that AWP was incredible. So he started here with a P250 out on that T side. We'll see if he can keep up this performance he's had so far in this grand final.
Yeah, he's had a good day in the office with the AWP. Probably on Nuke, although I would say he was outmatched by FaZe, who kind of really came alive in that second half. The op for him was a huge piece of the puzzle that Astralis needed that helped them come back on the map. So pistol round over to FUT. We touched on it as well. FUT's just been dominant in pistols. That's 6 of 7 played.
So obviously, you have a great stat line in your favor when you're winning so many pistol rounds. You're getting these good starts to maps. So back and forth over in the first half of Nuke, though.
That was the key on the first 2 maps, right? The 7-0 starts, 8-1 starts that they were having on Ancient and Mirage, and then you get over towards Nuke, and Astralis was able to respond much, much earlier and keep things a little bit closer.
And let's not say it was great from Astralis. I mean, that first half was not great at all. I mean, we still heard the frustrations from HooXi pleading with his team to actually have some initiative, make some plays, but they did just enough to stay in it, and obviously we see that pay off down the line.
Monks has got to be careful. He looks like he wants to be a little frisky. He's got the MAC-10 as well, but he also has the bomb on his back, so you don't want him to be the leading player and get you kind of stuck into a commitment you don't really want to play. Demon watching for this push. He'll be able to grab FOZE. Now, at a round like this, not a big deal, but just keep your eye on that later on. HooXi on the CT side is going to be playing towards that long A. And we've seen recently, like, part of his style of play that he's kind of brought in, he's been very... Oh, my God.
Okay, Yabby double dig.
Yeah, forget about HooXi for the moment. That's crazy.
No, that's the freedom, though. With HooXi dying, it opens up the B bomb site, so you can move over with that bomb to the B site finish. Yabby's going to come over towards CT spawn. He's hoping for another one, but just going to be too tough for to handle that.
So as I was saying, HooXi playing out towards long, he loves to find a good timing to push out of the cave. Like he'll do it at very risky moments as well. And timing doesn't matter so much as what's happening on the map, but he takes a good amount of risks, and it's paid off for him in the past. It's one of the recipes that helped them upset Spirit back in Stockholm during the playoffs there. That he was able to pull that off. So just keep your eye on that. I think we're going to see HooXi mix that in like 2 to 3 different times throughout this half.
Astralis just can't afford to start slow here. They cannot afford to start slow, and it's been such a great start for FUT. You know, you can really pile on the pain if you have that frustrating loss over in FUT department in the last map, and you come out and you're Astralis. If you get a good start, if you win the pistol round, if you're able to convert that, you can make them sort of remember that. But if you come out here, you lose the pistol, lose the second round, lose the first gun round, then FUT just forget about that, and it's just playing Dust 2 in front of them.
Well, I imagine Astralis would have loved to have signed the waiver and just kind of skipped that long extended break. After you come back on Nuke and force overtime and take the win, you're probably ready to get right back into things, feeling like you finally showed up to play the game. 2-0, and the first buy coming in for Astralis. M4s across the board, no kits available, plenty of utility.
Yeah, you're not going to get that all out for FOZE either. See some util drop into mid from a cemetery. Xbox smoke thrown out. A lot of smoke cover down towards the doorway. Yeah, we're going to be spamming through, trying to connect some shots with it. The grenade lands towards his face. His foot have moved up short, but there's a fight about to happen here. Multiple players around that short corner. Lounge gets to push it towards him, and Stare is going to get both kills.
Well, I don't even know how Long's got one. That's actually kind of crazy. Jokes heard one fall back, not able to take advantage of it. Stare sticks around just way too long. Picked off. 3-on-3 we go, and Astralis' defense is scrambling. That's the kill you can't take. That one hurts because Yabby's got to move all the way back. He's got to take a ton of risks. Spots the bomb jumping across. But there's already a player inside the B bomb site. It's Jugs, so nope, he scales back. Lurk smoke thrown out. Wants to make Yabby nervous of that B site.
And they know they've got the player advantage here, and they've got time just to remain composed. Hit that pause button, wait for the next move. Yabby is the next move, though, right towards Cemetery. He'll take that kill, so FUT have to go into the B finish. Jugs has taken a lot of damage in this round. He's 5 HP. And Yabby's about to just walk on in. That smoke fades away at just the right time. It was protecting Jugs on that push in and then fades away.
Oh, he's going to get that
vision of Yabby, and now FOZE's blinded. Demon hunts him down through the window. And FUT win this closely contested round in the mid-round. That short fight really decides everything. The fact that Demon's able to chase back on Stare.
I'll tell you what, they're really lucky in this round. Jugs misses the Molotov over towards window. It actually bounces and starts burning his teammate who's got to get off the bomb plant. That could have been very easy for Yabby to stop that, and then you leave Jugs with 8 HP in a 1v2. He recovers it, though. Recovers the situation. This one from Stare just swings out a little bit too far. Couldn't get back into cover. Ryu picked off on the cross. And you can see, just as the smoke fades, what a timely fade of that smoke. Otherwise, Demon probably goes down. And Cemetery's got the op kill early. Not on the cross. It looks like he was trying to push up. They wanted to get aggressive in towards tunnels. And even FOZE got tagged. A 2-for-1 special.
Stare likely to be caught here, and then pulls out his deagle. And it's just one. Cemetery getting pushed in the lower tunnels, pulls out the Glock, and slaps HooXi. So now we've got Yabby stuck with the deagle. He's hit some nice shots, but maybe he can get one.
Yeah, give him a chance.
Yeah, there's the opportunity. Hasn't been able to connect it. Demon downs him inside of the site, and it is that ideal start here for FUT.
4-0. This next gun round, yeah, this would really escalate things, wouldn't it? Then it's like Astralis just get knocked into like the worst kind of deja vu, where you start thinking back to maps 1 and 2, starting out in those deep, deep holes that you just can't possibly dig out of. Okay, so shoots one on the cross, it tags that one, and then a second player tries to push. Lovely shooting from Cemetery, grabs an op kill and a Glock one later. Clean round from FUT. Round 5 beginning. And the op on FOZE supporting out towards long, but that flashbang doesn't work, so Cemetery takes an easy kill. HooXi dropped early.
Moving in, Ryu has just moved forward with a great flashbang, activated in by Yabby, and comes away with 2 kills. So you've carved up the attack instantly with that kind of play.
Yeah, get it right back. That makes HooXi feel a lot better after taking his death when he's watching things. Nice timing to hit as well. FUT just never expected it whatsoever. Nice deep flashbang. But they're coming right back to the B bomb site. They're like, okay, you just cleared out upper tunnels. You won't expect us to come right back to this. And they're correct. Everyone's shifted out of B. Ryu is going to be the rookie man there.
How much can he do here? I mean, 2 kills already fantastic, but yeah, I mean, they're falling away from B thinking we've done enough to scare them off, but you ain't going to scare FUT that easily.
Yeah, it's a lot of just clearing out mid to make sure that if the B hit does come in, you don't have to worry about that prong of the attack, but obviously Ryu is never going to be able to get back in, so they're going to have to play the retake, but thankfully they have control of tunnels.
Yeah, Cemetery turning around. Oh, he misses the shot.
Panicked.
When you commit to that, you have to land it. And now that he's gone down, that has really freed up Astralis for this retake. They can come in from multiple sides. No longer Crabman again. Crabbetti. Oh
Jesus.
My God, he has destroyed them. Out from the window, pitting Astralis against the wall. And Ryu walks into his death as well. The leader of FUT taking them a huge step further.
Man, that one's a really tough blow to take if you're Astralis. It's starting to feel so similar. Look at how fast he reacts to the player up at window. Grabs the AWPer with utility out. And again, I think we're having that similar conversation from HooXi that we heard earlier in the listen-ins, heard earlier a little bit on just on the random audio. They're just kind of not expecting these plays coming out of FUT still, despite the fact that they've been throwing them at Astralis this whole series long.
I mean, this double kill fantastic from Ryu, backs away. Then you get this kill on Cemetery in the tunnels. You wonder how are FUT going to win this. They're going to have to deal with the retake coming in from 2 sides. Crabbetti obviously realizes that himself. He knows, okay, we can't just sit down here. We're going to be shooting ducks. I mean, he's able to just head out, get 2 at the window. It's fantastic here from FUT.
Nice, Benny. Holy fucking shit, Benny, bro. You're... bro, insane.
Yep, that's just about how we're all feeling at this point watching
absolutely.
that. Yeah, you are insane.
And now it's put Astralis back in the doldrums again. They've got no money to get a good buyout here.
Crabbenny's carving himself out like a position in that like pantheon of IGLs who are also like the stars of the team as well. Like he's having so much impact. Frag and IGLs, we always talk about their benefit. Crabbenny's doing just that here for FUT.
Yeah, good shot from Yavi. Can't get another one. Crabbetti to shut him down. Yeah, it's the impact he gets. Here we go. MP9 unleashed from short. Ryu taking 2. Still not panic stations fully because Juke's coming in. If he can get both kills and stay alive here, then it's a 2v2, and he can play with Crabbetti, but he's going in, confidently fighting. HooXi's going to get his first kill, but speaking of, here's Crabbetti. Another moment needed from Crabbetti. He's got it down into a 1v1. Can FOZE take this chance?
No information on where he is, though. Moving cat. He's not even... Oh, knife out.
Timing. Oh, he's got it. He's going to win it on the P2000. That is a steal away right there from Astralis.
That looks silly, but we'll just say there's been a lot of moments of knives out throughout this event of players just not prepared for the fight. So Crabbenny thinks he's got a little bit more time to operate, and FOZE just closes the gap.
Yeah, you say HooXi trying to capitalize on this moment. Okay, right, guys, we just won a round we shouldn't have. Let this be the turning point in this half. Let us build on this. I mean, they had that over on Nuke, right? The fact that they were winning around sometimes we just didn't look like they should be picking it up. They were able to make the most of it in the end. Gotta take it now. FOZE's on the AWP. Money's not great here because of the amount of damage done to FUT over the last 2 rounds. So you win this round, you do break them, you put them down to weaker guns.
Frequently when they start 3B like this, they end up attacking into the B bomb site, whether it's a B split they transition into or just straight up heads up through the tunnel. Bomb is dropped back here as well. So for the moment, they're going to wait a little bit longer for Crabbenny and Demon on the other side of the map to start feeling comfortable to call some plays. Going to clear out Xbox. Now utility up towards short. Bomb is sticking around in the B tunnels though, so I imagine you force back the short defense, drop into a mid to B split. No flashbang, not needed as FOZE misses the shot. And happy to be patient as FUT, as another round of smokes and delay utility come in from Astralis. Bomb readjusting towards upper tunnels. Defense sliding over as well. They feel no more pressure on Cat. As long as that smoke is in place, 3 defenders are going to be here. They have the correct read. But as we've seen throughout this series, that hasn't always worked out for Astralis.
We got Ryu on the barrels. He's been good at B so far. Spraying away, missing the first couple of bullets. He's out of bullets completely, so Ryu goes down. Yeah, be out from side window. He's got himself a kill, but all the pressure now on Stare. He can only manage one. So FUT split that B bomb site, get all the kills at the right time. And now they can get that plant through with just enough time to feel comfortable. So FOZE and HooXi not really in a spot where you can consider this retake. So you want to back away and save that AWP.
Yeah, HooXi can drop an M4 over to a teammate in the next round. FOZE will still have the AWP, obviously. And then you can scrounge together a buy with the 3 rifles and some pistols around it, some MP9s perhaps. But that's a round that, you know, again, I just mentioned, they have 3 players there. But with the way that FUT has been shooting in this game, with the way that they attack into bomb sites and how efficient they are at trading, not always going to get you the win just by reading the play. Kills just don't come out. Great utility to isolate that fight. Ryu's forced to swing when his teammate can't help him. And that means Stare, all he can do is 1-for-1.
Gotta feel great that you can lose a round and then immediately respond. Get back into things. Just continue with where you left off.
It's got to feel great once again, just digging that hole deeper for Astralis. It's more like business as usual for FUT, who didn't enjoy the resistance Astralis gave them on Nuke.
Especially because the round that they lose is an unexpected round win. Like, you shouldn't be winning that if you're Astralis. You're coming in with pistols. You can drop the ball every now and then. But the fact that FUT then have to deal with a full buy on the other side, one that has the AWP, one that has the utility, and you win it straight away. I mean, it's just a great sign, a great feeling for FUT that things are going to continue in this first half.
I mean, they've shown they've had the stronger mentality as a team, as a unit throughout this series. We haven't seen those cracks the way we have from Astralis, and granted, Astralis hasn't had the kind of success that FUT has had over them as well. So there's that angle to it also. But FUT lost tons of those low buy rounds against MongolZ yesterday and never seemed to break them either. Maybe they're just used to it at this point. 5-round lead heading into round 8. Got a long spawn on Demon, but he's not going to take the AWP. Doesn't want to take the shot. We'll see if he heads that way at all. Symmetry drops down for the cross.
I do have the long corner smoke and a flash, so imagine he's going to challenge at some point. And he is just going to do it immediately, so smokes it and goes. Stare actually gets caught on the flash upon the peek up. Did Demon see him? Yep, he's going to hunt him down, but he gets caught by a flashbang. Demon still gets that kill, and Symmetry replies to HooXi through the smoke.
Yeah, you have to love this if you're Krebeni, if you're everyone on FUT. There's no fear. Whoever's going first is never slowing down. So much space is created. Naito's the position of FOZE.
It's always trusting your teammate that they are going to get that kill in return, that they're going to be able to trade it out if you go down.
X Factor, you can see the push of Yabi and Ryu. They need to burn out FOZE immediately. Smoke is going to give away his position, but Jugs is actually pushed out in middle, so he actually won't spot this flank coming up towards short.
But you got an... Oh, making noise. Oh, here we go. Krebeni on the flank. He's going to deal with the short player. Ryu gone, and you know the gaps. You know Yabi is right here, and then Jukes is waiting all round long for him to drop back down into CT. So Jukes on the other side of the door, here's the steps of the players running up short, calls Krebeni, he comes back around long, and it works out perfectly for FUT.
This is over, dude. Like,
it does feel that way.
Look how lost Astralis just was in that 2vx. Like, they just had no idea. Like, I mean, you have so much success out towards long. It's a hard position to be in to read what's happening. You have no real information, but I mean, just not even being in those fights. Krebeni finds you on the backstab, drop down from short on towards the ramp, and you got one player in middle. They're just getting worked.
Oh, FOZE goes for a risk and ends up just getting completely caught. There's no falling back. He didn't have his gun out. Just bad timing there from FOZE in terms of thinking he was able to make that play. It's just not going to happen for him. So the AWP's gone, your best weapon. There's the Eagle, the last hope, and it's dead as well.
All right, well, Yabi making a move. Not going to make it up, though. Demon would be prepared for any kind of a push. I think he might have even had the indication. He definitely heard it, and he's got a very precise shot. Ryu pushes upper as well behind Demon. Bomb being planted. No danger of losing this round if you're FUT.
8-1 already.
This is, I mean, again, it's like map 1 and 2. It's just they're speed running it at this point. 12 kills on Demon, 10 on Krebeni.
Incredible. I mean, we look over at Astralis and, you know, they're going to get a buyout again. They're going to have weapons. It hasn't meant anything. No matter where FUT call to go, they are just breaking in.
Absolutely brutal the way this half is playing out right now. Just after Astralis had that one ray of hope, that shining glimpse after Nuke, FUT slammed the door. Up in the hands of FOZE. Astralis need to have that nuke moment where they all come online, but beautiful utility, and of course he's jumping because why the hell not?
Demon were flying, just heading out unblockable there by HOOXi. And now we ended up in a situation where immediately it's an advantage for FUT.
Dude, this is crazy. Smoke's broken. They're making all the right plays. And now Stair's caught on Cat. He can't push. And now all of a sudden you have a situation where Yabby, he can't go anywhere. He's stuck. Good kill from Stair. They come through the smoke and Yabby does find one. Okay. All of a sudden a little success for Astralis.
Yeah, some damage done to the smoke as well. So Symmetry dropped down to 8 HP from that spam. You gotta win this one if you're Astralis. This has to be a round victory. The only player I feel like can change this is Jugs right now.
Yeah, all eyes on Jugs. He's the one who's got to make a move. Ryu isn't getting pulled into the rotation whatsoever. And Jugs isn't going to be able to sit here without doing anything for too much longer. Not fast enough on the op. That's a tough angle to peek into, so Demon backs away with the bomb. But maybe that kill makes Astralis feel like they've left long, vacated the premises, so someone can start shifting back into Jugs' crosshair, and the timing is just so rough. Good win from Astralis. They needed it. 4 players alive. Build up some money.
Yeah, really needed that one, but the issue is FUT have so much cash, so they're going to buy up, and they're going to take their first time out here as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. Astralis had to burn 2 already just to get some kind of a hold on this map or some kind of a standing in it. I can't believe that's the way it opened, and I can't believe that's the only death that Astralis took for the rest of the rounds.
Yeah, 2 rounds still available in the half. Yep, fair enough, HOOXi. Doesn't mince words.
It's got like, he's just like bouncing between positive and negative reinforcement today, isn't he? Just going back and forth. Dust 2, a map in the 5 series these teams have played in 2026, excluding this grand final. They've only played it once before. And FUT took that map 13-8. One of the maps that's in their pool, and good shot from Symmetry. Too quick, coming from an angle that FaZe didn't expect.
Well, FaZe's AWP was able to chime in a couple of kills at the end of the last round as well. Well, it's gone instantly.
And FUT's the best team at this event at winning 5-on-4s.
Well, that's because they keep just piling on the pressure. There's another one from Krabeni. 3v5. Astralis, a missed shot at least. Yabby needed that. Got 2, and then Ryu's found 2 as well. Okay, this is a massive turnaround from Astralis. Yabby again, being the man to do it.
Can't believe you cursed him like that. Jugs is just sitting back. He is wondering what the hell happened. And that's maybe like the biggest weakness of FUT we've caught throughout their run throughout this tournament has been like sometimes they're just so eager.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. Jugs has got this down to a 1v1 and nearly actually winning that still.
They get so eager to like solve the problem right there that everyone kind of rushes to it and tries to bash their head through the brick wall.
Kind of like Nuke when they were trying to win the trophy right there and then. Couldn't do it.
Great pick. And then after that, it all collapses. This is a 3 versus 5. Lovely work from Yabby, who has the AK-47 to get those headshots. Ryu as well with one. Clean work. And a nice round win from Ryu right at the end of the day to close it out.
All right, well, the money definitely affected now. FUT's last buy is not looking all that great. You've got Galil's MAC-10 and a single AK-47 for Jugs.
This timing,
oh my gosh, the timing there. Stair's lucky to get away with that.
Yeah, he really is.
Here's the push into the tunnels.
Jugs is coming back to check this. Ryu out in the open. Wants that fight. Nicely done from Demon.
How long has he given that, Jugs, to win that fight? Now FOZE is committed up. Demon does get a kill elsewhere. We got FOZE going to the pistol. AWP overwhelmed, and FUT will respond. They're going to grab a 9th round. 9-3 half. I mean, surely this is enough now for them to go and win this trophy.
Stair's so confused. He thinks someone's...
Where are they?
Well, he was the one who encountered Krabeni with that crazy timing early on, right? So I guess he might have thought that someone had slipped into the smoke or was hiding in it. But either way, it just goes to build upon that sense that Astralis, for most of this half, just felt like they were getting ran ragged with no clue where to move.
I mean, it's hard to see how they won't win this now.
Especially with their clip of pistol wins. They've won, what, 6 of 7 so far? Just been dominant in that regard, and that kind of lends itself to all those hot starts we had. But look at the faces as well. Pure focus and seriousness on the FUT side. I think Nuke would have been a nice wake-up call that even when you feel like you're right there, ready to take the win,
wow,
it can all slip away from you.
On the pursuit of their first top-level championship. Lifting a trophy. What is their rookie Tier 1 season, right? This is a team that played a bunch of Tier 2 events, you know, won a few of them. But coming into the Tier 1 stage, you know, going to the Tier 1 events, actually doing damage at these events, getting into the playoffs now, and about to win a trophy.
A lot of it's been eye test, right? A lot of it's been eye test, being like, oh, okay, these guys are a lot of fun to watch. These guys are really sharp. These guys are really aggressive. These guys are a little bit crazy. But then you start looking back in Stockholm with their top 4 finish there. Now you're looking here, potentially a grand final trophy in their future. And then you start having some actual facts on the resume to secure your kind of feelings of the eye test. Been a really
excited about the major.
Yeah, been a really fun team to watch in this first season, and it's culminating in a very nice showing here in these grand finals, and then we can see what they'll be able to do at the major. Certainly going to play spoiler to someone, it feels.
Flash going in. It's going to send Symmetry forward into the fight. They're blinded, and yep, they will continue their pistol antics. So clean, taking away both kills at short and forcing Astralis into a last-ditch effort with 3 men coming out long. Rubenny's going to detect him. They know exactly where their opponents are coming from. And Lux is going to position himself. He's going to jump up and try and help out. Even getting tagged to the smoke. Yabby was instrumental in pulling a few rounds back in that first half. Well, he's got to do it again here in the pistol run. He's the only player that can actually do anything about this. And it's another good headshot.
All right, guys, calm it down. No need to make these crazy plays.
Not one yet. Hitting the pause button.
Symmetry's got no bullets in his USP. He's ran out entirely.
I gotta go back and upgrade. Oh my.
Oh, he was just a distraction. What a legend.
Dude,
what a legend.
He's just jumping around, like pumping up his chest. He's like, yo, come shoot me. And then the rest of his teammates able to make the most of it. Now he's gonna got a better weapon. Oh my God. That is just ridiculous.
Oh, give him a round of applause.
That is so much style from Symmetry. You open up with a double at short, then you're jumping up, acting as a decoy human being. Like, you're just there, you just exist. You have nothing. You don't even have a weapon, and you're still finding impact even with no bullets. Then you run, you pick up a gun, and you get the final kill.
That's a kid who's playing for the team, who's playing for the win. That one goal always in mind. And a timeout.
I feel like that's the first notable moment from the reload update that's provided something.
Sure.
And that, I love it.
Yeah, the non-stop drive-by. This made me a little bit nervous. I was just saying, this is that moment where you see people jumping through smokes, trying to be aggressive at railing with these USPs, where I'm like, this is how you can lose this round.
He turns around and shows him his booty. He's like, yeah. Runs down short and gets the Glock. Oh, wow. Okay, FUT 10-3. I don't know. You've just been completely wrecked in that last round if you're Astralis.
And I think the problem is these are always the situations where it's like, if you're going to come back in this, if you're Astralis, you need someone to carry you through a stretch and make a play that makes you feel like it's possible to come back. But their individuals just haven't been here today. There's been none of that, except for Stare on Nuke.
Yeah.
It's been like isolated rounds.
They've just not been able to match the firepower of FUT, who, as you mentioned at the start of the day, the fact that everybody's shown up for FUT.
Well, you got Laux on the defense and Jugs on the defense at this B bomb site. Astralis is going to be coming right at him, and it's going to. This round is won or lost based off how this defense does paired up, because everyone else is so far away on the other side of the map, and no one's spotting all that deep. They got to be careful because this Molotov is going to go. It's not going to be that effective.
MP5, not great, but Laux is trying to do his best. He acts just as a distraction to set up Jugs for 2. Hoaxy and Ryu do get into the bomb site.
And they're clearing out mid together for the moment. Bomb being planted. We have a retake on our hands. Demon does have a kit to work with. Problem is one flashbang is kind of an issue. However, remember that FUT has been very rock solid in retakes today.
Well, that re-smoke to the door is just landing.
It's fine. Symmetry's going to be the one chucking the flash for his teammates, so he's going to be coming in late anyways. That smoke doesn't mean anything to him.
Can FUT pull off another retake? Coming through, Demon spots the head, MP9 rather, at that range. Not perfect, but effective. And now FOZY's only got an MP5 and flying through the sky. Demon has just wings, man. He is literally just flying around and getting headshots. It doesn't matter. He has no inaccuracy.
He did it at long just a few rounds back. I think Symmetry even got a jumping kill in this round as well. So yeah, things are getting weird out there. And it seems like everything's falling into place for this to be FUT's first ever trophy at the professional level. And boy, have they earned it today.
Look how high he's in the sky.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
What can I do? He's just laugh at it, and then I'm pain, feel the pain. Oh, this is something special from FUT with the way they're playing right now.
It's a brutal stage for this to be happening if you're on the Astralis side, though.
That's a weird smoke. There we go, an archway.
It's kind of awesome in a way, though, isn't it? Yeah.
That's sick. I like that. If we can replicate that, that would be really cool. Because it blocks long and then you can still check the angle. I mean, it just looks nice.
It just looks nice.
I'm just trying to find a way.
I know you are. It just looks nice.
I would love this.
Let's stick with that one.
The smoke arch.
Aesthetically pleasing. Molotov misses its mark. Back to the B bomb site we go. Astralis up based off that last round say, okay, we got everything we wanted. We broke in. We had the post plant, which we lost. But surely they can't hit 2 jumping shots again. So let's go right back to it.
Okay, Laux detecting them, calling up Jukes. That rifle starts spraying away. Laux is going to help him, and now they line up. FOZE at least getting a kill to get them into the site, but a retake again for FUT. This time they have the player advantage, and they're not really wasting time. They're up to the door, they're in already. FOZE calling that to Ryu, who steps into the open. It's got to be FOZE with the clutch. Nate goes off the wall, the damage done, but Demon again. Surely, this is it now. FUT are just coming into the bomb site, taking it back at will, and a defuse as they reach tournament point.
Just continuing the trend, the dominance, and Astralis still have no answer. Time for that final timeout. You might as well burn it. Not like it's going to be the magical solution. But 13-5 on Ancient of the opening map. 13-5 on Mirage as the second map. And another dominant victory here on the 4th map. An absolutely insane run for FUT, an insane performance in this series. They dropped 1 map on the path to the grand finals. 2 maps overall at PGL Bucharest.
Laux aggressive towards top middle. At least Ryu getting 2 here, but Symmetry's up next. Astralis with the man advantage at the moment. And Symmetry committed. No falling back. He's got to fight his way out of this one. Missed shot. Trying to drop utility. He's got Demon to protect him. Fighting there for each other time and time again. You can always rely upon your teammates inside of this FUT squad. And that has been the story of this team. Sticking together, knowing what they're capable of, and now getting to see the results, the reward of their commitment to one another. 2 kills away. Demon has got him locked in towards top middle. He's going to force him into the fight. Ryu burns away. So can Demon do it? 24 kills.
But he's playing without information in this 1v1. Stare's the one who knows exactly where he progressed. Demon seems to be hot on his heels, almost sensing it, and he'll maybe even see the bomb is disappearing, but going to slide over to the B bomb site. He'll hear these footsteps on the cross, and he's been spotted.
Demon with confidence, going in with a Tech 9 straight away. Stare spamming him down to 5 HP. Demon goes, and he's doing it with confidence! Demonic from Demon, and FUT will win the championship here at PGL Bucharest.
And an unbelievable release of emotions. It's got to be for this team that's been together so long, adding Laux in for the absence of MongolZ, but for someone like Coolio, he mentioned he's been coaching Jug since he was 15 years old. Imagine how proud he's got to be of this group as they've risen through the ranks in the first season of 2026 and now taken their first trophy. And it's going to mean so much to everyone on this squad.
For Astralis, Deflation, obviously a team that would have expected themselves to play much better coming into the final. There were some weaknesses throughout this, though, and it just proved to be too much for them to overcome.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, for Astralis, it's a lot of it is the path, right? Is the progression that they need to have.
But in a season where we have watched legends of old fall, FUT keep taking the next step. You are watching the rise of the next generation. Your PGL Bucharest 2026 champions. It is FUT Esports.
Guys, congratulations. Coolio, I wanted to start with you, Mr. Coach. You are the champions of PGL.